right, we have DJ Legato here. Am I saying that right?
You could be more chill with it. It's just Legato. That's it.
Legato.
Yeah, Legato.
All right, Legato.
Legato.
All right, so tell me about yourself. I know you
Yeah,
just did Benny's on the beach in Palm Beach tonight.
That's always a good, fun little vibe to do. My buddy Alex Gregory, he's just a really good friend of mine, and we always done stuff together. So whenever we can help each other out, he puts me on to stuff. So Benny's on the beach is like once in a while type of thing, but it's good because you're like out in the open and you can kind of, play different stuff. You don't have to do what you do in the clubs. You can go outside the box a little bit. But yeah. So a lot of people, and this is it's just crazy. Legato's actually a musical term, and I have played for a lot of big names, and it's so funny that you would think a lot of these artists know these musical terms, and they don't. And then a lot of people are like El Gato, like Spanish, and that's not what it is, or they'll be like Legato. They'll try to like over pronounce it, and that's not, it's just very chill, Legato. I was just looking up one day synonyms for different words, and I typed in smooth, and legato came up as a synonym. So I looked up, see what legato meant, and when a band is playing smoothly without breaks in between their notes, it's called that they're playing in legato. And if they're offbeat, then they're playing in staccato. So that's where I got it from. When I was thinking about the name, I was like, well, if I'm doing something that's really professional, I don't want that like street name. But if I'm doing something that is in the street, I still want it to be kind of hip, and not sound too clean either. So then I just ran with legato.
That's interesting. That's a smart move.
Yeah.
That's intelligence right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So how is it different from like when you do Benny's and then you do a club? Like, what's the difference? Like, you can play whatever you want at Benny's, right?
Yeah. When I go into a club, you're talking about high energy and keeping the crowd there. When you're talking about doing something like Benny's, it's more like relax, chill. People are just coming to grab some food or grab a drink, where a club is like, right when I start, I'm shutting it down. Like, I'm trying to get you either to have the most amount of fun that you can, or we're going to get drunk or something, but it's going to be over the top 9 times out of 10.
Now, when you go to the club, do you have a track list already like played out?
No. So in the program that a lot of the DJs use, there's folders. So you have folders for like the different genres of music that you have. But I've seen, and it's sad, I've seen DJs go in there with a track list. They have like these presets made that they like have certain songs already in order from like this year or maybe like 2 years ago, and they keep it in their like hot folder where they know it sounds good together. And that's not the type of person I wanted to be when I first wanted to be a DJ. Just really off the top and just kind of go with the flow, like the feeling, what mood I'm in, what mood, the people are in front of me. So yeah, no track list for me.
Not at all. Huh? When somebody comes up and asks you for like a request, how do you handle that? Now, well, okay. If I come up to you and I ask you for a request and I have a $20 bill, will you play it?
Oh, of course. Of course.
But if, somebody else comes up and they're just like, hey, can you play this? Do you play it?
She better be hot.
So
she better be hot.
The key word is she.
She better be hot. If it's a good request and I'm like, I haven't heard that in a while, then I'll throw it in because it reminds me that it needs to be played. One thing about requests, which is very annoying, is that it's like telling you how to do your job. Don't tell me how to do my job. But for me, I look at it from a standpoint of if it's a song that like really hits me, like, okay, yeah, I haven't played that in a while, then I'll be like, let me put that in my set. Because it reminds you that there's people out there that still want to hear that song. What DJs don't do nowadays is they don't play music. They play music just because they know it's hot. They don't know how much influence it has on the people they play it for, right? So I get a lot of shit. Are we allowed to curse here?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So I get a lot of shit because I go outside the box, and I've been going outside the box more and more often the older I get and the longer I get into the industry. Sometimes if I'm feeling right, like I don't mind, I'll play like a popular part of a gospel song. It's so funny how like all these DJs will say thank God for this and thank God for that, but they'll never put God influenced music in their sets. or they won't promote it on, their social media. They may, say, thank God for this new gig, thank God for this, whatever, new this, new that, but you never see them really throw it in. And I get shit for it all the time. Sometimes some of my friends or some of the promoters be like, damn, Legato, you played that tonight? Like, it was kind of off. But at the same time, it's like, but I'm different, and I'm not afraid to be different, So it's like people come up to me, and it's like those requests, going back to it, it's like, damn, like, yeah, I need to start playing that again. Like, maybe that song meant something to that person, and there's 400 other people that it could possibly mean something to. And just those musical influences are the reason why people can be like, oh shit, he played that, let me get another drink. You know what I mean?
And then that helps the bar, that helps the club that you're working at, everything, and it benefits you at the end of the day. But if somebody comes up with something stupid, I would assume as a DJ, you're already reading the crowd. You see what's there, So if you see a bunch of young people, or not young people, like people that are like NSYNC,
right?
Maybe you'll play NSYNC because a lot of people know that, right? Even if you don't like it,
right? So those, you like to call those records timeless records,
yeah,
because
everybody can sing to them,
right?
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter if you're 24 or 34, you probably know NSYNC.
Yeah, right.
So you call them timeless records, yeah.
Timeless records, right?
Yeah.
Now, where did you grow up?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Brownsville, Brookdale Hospital. But I moved to Florida when I was really young. So I don't consider myself a New Yorker, but I do put that in there because we go see my family in New York a lot. And there's not too much of my family in the Florida area. A lot of my family is still in New York. So I do have that like New York swag, but I was raised in Palm Beach, West Palm Beach, yeah.
So I'm from Pennsylvania, right? Okay. So I came down here, and this was a shell shocker for me. So now you still go back and forth.
Yeah.
How would you say it's different down here than up north where we're from?
As far as like nightlife and being a DJ, or just a person?
Just like as a person.
Well, you can't go wrong with sun year round. So the women here can dress half naked all year. You can't beat that up north. I do like that you can see the difference on how ladies up north have better swag when it comes to dressing. Like, they know how to put stuff together, I think, better than, southern women, or just like, Florida women, because Florida women don't really have to put too much together.
See, what I think is, I think they take the swag from New York, and it comes up here, and down here they have money, so they can take it to the next level. But they're looking at New York, they're looking at Philly, they're looking at Jersey, But now here they can get 10 times what they have, because
No, I completely agree. For sure.
So you grew up in New York, then you came here to Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up in Palm Beach?
Like the Boynton Lake Worth area, like in between there. I moved around there a lot. So I don't know if a lot of viewers are probably going to remember this. The Palace. So the Palace was a staple for, it was a skating rink, a popular skating rink. And then everybody would go there on the weekends. But yeah, around that area, like Lake Worth, Boynton,
roller skating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, we had them up north in PA.
Yeah. So
I used to skate, and if you could if you could twist, man, girls.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if you could do, like, sometimes they had, like, the skating races Friday nights, and, like, if you came in first place, man, like, those were the days. Like, kids today don't know what it was like at 11 p.m. on a Friday night.
Yep.
Everybody would stop skating, and then you would just see everybody go to the dance to the middle of the floor and start dancing. Now, back then, the big thing was, could you just get a girl to, like, booty dance on you, right? So, like, you see girls twerking now, and you're just like, oh, that's cool, whatever. But, like, you were the man if you, like, just went to a different girl here and there, and they were all willing to, like, give you that okay to booty pop on you, and it was just like, you're never gonna see that again. Like, we're so beyond that, it's insane.
So like my friends when I was growing up, we'd all save up to go to the roller rink. We call it roller rink. Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody would try to do flips, or some guys would flip, and you should have seen the girls that they walked out with. Oh. And you would go to the snack bar, and you get like French fries and soda. You know what I mean?
Oh man!
And if you could do a flip or a twist or go with the music, and there would be these guys that were unbelievable, and they just killed it. And everybody would try to practice to beat these guys, but they were just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember we were in it was in Pennsylvania. It's called Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
And this guy would do a flip. Joey Gibble, shout out to Joey Gibble. This guy could skate like you wouldn't even believe. More pussy than you could imagine for that. He's got a kid and a wife now, so he'll probably kill me. But I've known him since I was 3.
Oh man.
But he could do a flip and everything. And bro, he couldn't peel him off of him.
Hmm.
But that was back in the day, like you said. You know, like that was the thing, like Friday night. And if you went Saturday night, you better be real good.
Yeah. So here in this area, Friday night would be the Palace, and then Saturday night was a whole nother rink. It was called Atlantis, Atlantis is still open.
But you got to be good to go to Atlantis, right?
See, the thing is that like, yeah, you had those kids that can do like the little 180s or the 360s or the flips and stuff, but like it was more for the dancing at the end of the night. Like it was major that like
so
every
what would they
Friday
do?
night.
Take their skates off and start dancing, or
Oh,
dance with
yeah.
the skates on.
Oh yeah, no. So there was a time. There's a certain point of the night where everybody stops skating, and the skating rink just is completely like a club, but just for
wow.
little kids.
Oh wow!
And then like you just hang up on the wall, and then you just kind of see. You would look around, like what girls are kind of. The crazy part was it wasn't called twerking like it is today.
Yeah.
Most guys would be like just booty popping, like booty shaking. That's what we would call it. Like, okay. So like the music would start going, boom, boom, boom. This is when like Yin Yang Twins was really big.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Twins,
Pitbull first coming out. Like,
who was the guys that disappeared? Oh shit! It was 3 of them. They were really good monsters.
John and the East Side Boys?
No, before that.
Before that.
Yeah, this is gonna drive me nuts now.
Bone Thugs?
Bone
No.
Thugs.
Yeah, Bone Thug. Yeah.
But-
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah.
But it was after them.
Yeah.
And then the one guy went solo. It was a crew. It was 3 of them.
And it was like booty shaking music.
Yeah, well, they came out with. I can't believe I can't remember him. Rob, I'm dying over here. I'm killing myself.
This is that Little John era, though, in that era?
Yeah. This is that.
Let's see. I'll look it up. You guys continue.
Yeah,
If I find something, I'll start.
He'll look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like they would come out. It was 3 guys, and they come out, and they had the best like tune that would just keep going over and over
Yeah.
in your head. And in Pennsylvania, what they would do is they would dance on roller skates,
Mhm.
and I'd sit there at like 17, 18, and I'd be like, "Fuck."
Oh, so there was no taking the rollerblades off
No.
all night.
All night, girls would come out. You'd hold your girl,
Uh,
and you start dancing with them. She'd turn
What?
around with the skates on, and then it was almost like if she went around with you a few times.
That was it.
It was gonna
yeah,
be.
it was gonna be a night. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. And that's talent too. No, the big thing back then was if you once the skates came off, the DJ started playing some booty popping music that the girls would shake to, and then boom, like you would kind of just do your rounds. And if like you went up to a girl and she looked back and continued dancing, that's it. You were good and you got the number. And then the cool part about it was like,
everybody wanted to get their number, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
how
it.
it used to be.
That's exactly what it'd be. You'd booty pop for a little bit.
Yep.
Then you get the number, or maybe
Yep.
around that time, like MySpace, you would try to get in that top 8.
Remember back in the day, it was about I used to make bets with my friends. You
Mhm.
can't get her number.
Yeah, of course,
When we would put money down.
of course.
And the whole night, all it was one girl trying to get her number. If you got the number, you won the bet. And everybody would bet. There's no way.
Of course.
And you would do anything just to
course.
win the bet with your friends, not
Yep.
even the girl. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Yep.
Don't you
Those
miss
were the
those
good
days,
times.
though?
Miss them.
I mean, you're around that all the time now. I mean, everything's just so different
Easy.
now.
It's easy.
It's too easy. It's not fun anymore.
Right. And I think
know.
that's what's scary is that back then, that was like, the major part of the night was like, hey, I got your number. We kind of danced together. Boom, And then like we were in those times where, it was all about being on the phone for 2 hours and like watching a TV show together on the phone. Like, and even though you wouldn't be talking, you were just on the phone with that person for no reason. But like, it's almost like now you can, with social media and the way these girls are looking for attention, And that's coming from a man who just posted a really thirsty post on Instagram. But the way that these girls,
Well, they seem to like it.
yeah, the way that these girls are just making it so easy now, it's insane.
But remember before, how old are you?
I'm 31.
31. So remember before when you were like 18, you would go to the gym, you had to work out, you had to run, you had to keep yourself together.
Yeah.
Like I would always get shaped up.
Yeah.
Like my hair was way shorter back then.
Yeah.
I get shaped up I would get shaped because I'm Italian, so my hair grow. What are you again?
So my mom's Puerto Rican, my dad is African and Caucasian.
So our hair grows quick.
Yeah.
So I would have like the thing on over here. So I would get a shape up every Tuesday and Thursday. Because it wasn't like you could just go and like it is now. So back then you made sure you had that shape up on Thursday because you got to get ready for the weekend. You know what I mean? I'm working out, you're eating right.
Oh yeah.
You're looking in the mirror at your abs, you're saying, all right, are they good? Oh shit. I'm going to really diet today, to get ready for them. But now all you got to do is, whip out a rubber band and it's over.
Haircut, chubby. It's again, too easy. It's too easy.
And now you walk by like somebody and you see this ugly ass motherfucker with this 10. And you say, what the fuck? Because back in the day, you had to work for that fucking 10.
I know.
You better be in shape. You better have a shape up. You better be good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you look good, they don't even care if you look good anymore. Like money talks bigger than ever now. More than ever, should I say? More than ever, right? So if you look good and you're a good-looking guy and you can't prove that you're making a substantial amount of money, then it doesn't even matter anymore. It
crazy.
Really doesn't.
It's just so
like
different.
You will lose to someone who doesn't look as good as you.
Yeah. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that in our day, though.
So
right?
It's funny that you bring that up because I was just I was in the sauna talking to, and that's one thing that I love to do. It's so crazy that you could just be in the gym in a sauna with a whole bunch of fellas and they all are on their phones. Like no one can start conversation anymore today. But
I built a sauna into my house.
Yeah.
So every day I run 3 miles. I go from the treadmill to the sauna. I have an infrared sauna. I sit in there at 140 degrees for 20, 25 minutes. Sweat to death. I feel like I'm dying every time.
Yeah.
But it gets all those toxins out of you. And once you like get your head back after being hot like that.
Yeah.
Because the infrared is a little bit different than the gym sauna. The gym sauna is like 180 degrees. And you got these guys pouring water in it, so it's even hotter. But this one just hits all of your body parts. So it's just like your legs, everything up. And then I'll take a break, and then I go work out and, lift.
Got you. So you actually hit the sauna and kind of drain everything out and then go work out.
Yeah. So, like, I'll wake up and I jump on the treadmill. Like sauna suit, sweatshirt, sweatpants, everything. Run 3 miles, interval. Then after that, then I go right from there to the sauna. And then I cool down. And then I eat. That's my first meal. After I do those 2 things. I eat, I let myself like calm down, and then I go train. Yeah. And then I get ready for the day.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I do as being a DJ and being in the nightlife, I don't practice it. It just naturally happens because I wake up late. But intermittent fasting, so it's like you get like 2 meals in a day, or you start after a certain time. And that's really because sometimes I eat really late and then I just go to sleep, and it's not the best thing to do. But when I want to eat whatever I want, it is the best thing to do, because it's like I don't have to worry about overeating because I only get maybe 1-2 meals in. For a guy who's into like powerlifting like I am, that's actually not good. You want to eat a little bit more so you can like carb up and feel good when you're lifting this heavy
You're
weight.
into powerlifting?
A buddy of mine got me into it.
You're gonna hurt yourself, bro.
A buddy of mine got me into it.
Powerlifting. You're 5'5" and you want to powerlift?
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, and I already have, but you learn from your mistakes, and it's fun. And it's not because I want to be the strongest person in the gym, or I'm trying to have this big ego. I think it's interesting to know how far you can take your body. Like I've done martial arts for over 10 years, and it's like I've had that aspect in my life where I've done a lot of different things. So then I want to try maybe powerlifting where it's a little bit more stationary, obviously, heavier things to do. And it's like, yo, it's crazy that I can do this, So it's just like one of those things that when you're like angry at the day or happy at the day, I go and talk to the weights, and it just so happens that sometimes I talk to 400 pounds,
Yeah, but you got the genetics that you got both sides. You got the genetics.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You got the genetics that you can eat cheeseburgers and you're going to be okay, and then you got the genetics. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got the best of both worlds.
Very blessed.
Right?
Thank you.
So some of us other guys here that look like the wall over there, right? We don't quite have those genetics.
Right.
But yeah, you're right though. If because I'm like you too. Sometimes I'm here till 1 o'clock in the morning. Then you get home and you eat terrible. But then if you run it off and you wait to eat, you can burn off whatever you ate.
I wish I had a sauna in my house because for the nights that I drink when I'm DJing, I just want to jump in the sauna some days, and just sweat it all out. And, the gyms they're not open all the time or at your time that you want to go. So that's actually really good. I'm happy for you that you have one in your home.
No, I'll show you. It's a 120 volt. You can plug it right in the wall.
Mm.
It's not that. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
You can easily fit it in your house easily.
Oh,
easily. Yeah. Because I was doing the whole sauna at the gym thing.
Yeah.
And there'd be like this weirdo sitting next to me, and then another weirdo, and I was like, I've seen.
Yeah. Well, you got those guys too that think it's okay to just walk in completely naked. Like
there we go. That's what I was.
Oh, that's what you were talking about?
Yeah.
And it's like
you ever see that, Rob?
Old balls. That's all I think about. Old man balls just walking in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's 9 times out of 10, like you said, it's like old men that just live. But so then I always look at two sides to a story, right? Let's say an older guy, 70 years old, 80 years old, doesn't care. Like he lived his life. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He just probably is like, he doesn't think about it how we think about it.
But you got to respect it though, right?
Yeah,
no, I respect that. But I don't respect when a fucking 40-year-old
Oh,
comes in.
yeah.
No, when those old men, I know exactly what
you
you're
know what
talking
I mean? Like their mindset is probably
Yeah.
like, who knows, maybe a vet, been through some shit, doesn't really care,
Yeah.
balls to the wall. He's expecting other men to be like, yo, we fucking been there, done that. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
He just doesn't give a fuck.
Right. Where
You know.
then people in our age group, you know what I mean? I think they're doing it, and then it kind of like sparks something when they say something, and then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So now you're saying this and you're naked. Okay, we got
Right.
it.
So when I agree with you 100%. So when like the 60 plus come in
Yeah.
and they walk with their dick hanging out,
Yeah.
you know what? I respect it.
Right,
I mean, I'm
right.
not looking at your dick,
Right.
but at least you're working. You're not sitting at home just being a fucking bum.
Yeah.
But then when this, like a guy our age comes in with his dick hanging out, and you can't help but miss. Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't walk around with that fucking thing, motherfucker. I'd have fucking spandex on before I walked in.
No, for
And
sure,
I
for
you know what I'm talking about? I mean,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah. Really.
you're really gonna walk in here like that? Man, you got more balls than I thought. And then I get sick.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking 2-inch pecker, and he's gonna walk in and fucking sit there fucking naked the whole time, and then put a white towel up. And then what they do is, right?
Yeah.
right,
you
right,
got
Anthony?
it, you got it.
Then that same fucker gets up and puts water on the thing to make it hotter
Yeah.
with his little fucking, pencil dick. I mean, if
No,
you're gonna
it happens. It happens more often than people think.
now, if you're 35 and you got something to be proud of,
Yeah.
all right. And unfortunately, I've been in the sauna a few times at the gym,
Yeah.
and I've seen it.
Yeah.
And I really don't like that you're walking in here with your fucking dick hanging out.
Yeah.
But I respect. Hey, if you got something to respect, I
Right.
respect
You gotta
it.
respect it.
I
Nah,
re- and look, if
Man
I
to
had
man.
that, I'd be walking around just like you.
for sure. No, for sure.
But when
I'd probably be doing the same thing.
But when the pencil dicks walk in, then it's like sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you see him acting interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so we're off the pencil dick thing. I guess.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
We're gonna get in trouble.
We're not gonna make an entire episode on pencil dick. Then they'll question us.
Oh, gee. Well, I don't think they need to question you, and you wouldn't be laughing if you
I don't-
questioned me.
I don't.
you know?
Yeah, I don't. Ain't nobody's gonna question me on that.
Yeah, I don't. People that know me are not gonna question.
Yeah.
me either, you know what I
I'm
mean?
glad we clarified that
Yeah,
between
yeah.
both of us. All
Yeah.
right. Shout out to everybody.
Everybody,
that-
we don't look at dicks.
Right. Exactly.
It's when they point them out to us.
Right.
There's no way not to look at it. If
There
you
you
got
go.
a pencil dick, put some fucking pants
Yeah,
on to come in.
yeah.
If you're 60 plus and you got a pencil dick, I respect you. I'll shake your hand.
Perfect.
Even with your cock hanging out, maybe I'll
Yeah.
shake your hand.
Yeah, for sure. There you go.
You know,
Okay.
out of
I
respect.
respect that. Yeah, out of respect.
I mean,
I was gonna say,
I'm gonna look.
I respect that.
up. I mean, you know, I'm gonna look high. but-
There's no way. Let's just end it like this. There's no way I'm having a full-fledged conversation with a man with his dick out.
I don't care if he's 97.
Yeah, no.
I'm
I'm
just-
not talking to you full-fledged conversation.
Right.
No.
But I respect you for coming in like a man like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure.
If you're older.
Yeah.
If
Mhm.
you're younger,
Have some respect, man.
yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. For real.
I'll say it, not you, because you're big time. Get the fuck out of here. When
Yeah.
I see those little fuckers come in.
Oh man.
So anyway, now that we're over that,
Yeah,
right? Okay. So now you grow up here. Now, how'd you get into DJing to begin with?
So at first I didn't want to be a DJ. That's the crazy part. I was actually in school up north. I went back up north to go to school in the worst part of New York ever. Every time someone asked me, "What part of New York did I go to school in?" Watertown, New York. This is
I knew he was gonna say that.
this
I knew
is
it.
north, like 30 minutes away from Canada, north, the border of Canada.
That's like the worst place to ever go. But
That-
not that you already know that, but
bad. I say Watertown, New York, and I just no good things about Watertown, New York. Why would you go to school in Watertown, New York? Anyways, so I go back, and at the baseball house, we would always have parties. And back then, there was the iPod Shuffle. So there wasn't really a way to make a playlist where songs could go in order and they can sound good together. It was more you just put it on shuffle mode, and then boom, it would pick random songs, right? I think you could make playlists, but even then, there wasn't really no order you could do it. You had to keep it in shuffle mode. So we would have baseball parties, and of course, chicks at the baseball house, right? I was playing baseball. I was taking my prereqs, and I wanted to be a lawyer. And I caught myself not even wanting to be at the party. I was like, oh, snap, like, this Latin song came on, and then this slow R&B song came on right after it. I can't do that. It messes up the vibe. Naturally, that's how I felt. So I would more and more at more parties, I would just go by the iPod, and I would sit by the iPod, and I would try to, like, whoever wanted to say hi to me or hang around with me would just kind of know that I would be by the iPod. So my best friend at the time bought me this little console that was called like the Hercules MK2 or whatever. It was something very small, no bigger than like what an iPad is today. And it was just two small wheels, a little fader, crossfader, and two volume faders. And I would mix the same two songs day in and day out. I would never download any new music. It was just these last two songs. And I can tell you off the top of my head, because it's major records that I still play till this day. It was Snoop Dogg, Sensual Seduction, and Grime Mode, I'm So High. Excuse me. I would mix both of those songs for hours in a day at different parts of the song. And I would call my mom, and I would call like my buddy or my roommate at the time. And I'd be like, hey, does this sound good? Does this sound good? Does this sound good? And from there, that's like, I would notice like how it affected people. And then it went from New York college to practicing that in Orlando is when I shifted. And then I went to Orlando for school, played baseball there. And then again, I was just always by whatever radio or stereo, and I was making sure the music was right. From there, went from like I started getting booked to, at sororities and fraternity socials. I linked up with a guy who gave me my very first start, and actually very well-known group, old school group called the Warheads. Shout out to Infrared. And this group is actually like really like old school, like before Khaled was Khaled old school. Like they're like, they knew each other like that. Orlando has a lot of big names that came out of Orlando. And so I met this guy, and he's like, I have a party at this like sushi restaurant. And he's like, I want you to come play. And I wasn't even the type that wanted to talk on the mic. So all I knew no lie, was these 2 songs that I knew I wanted to blend together. And then I would just kind of download more music around that, obviously, because I knew I was about to do a party and I wanted to, like, have more music to play. It went from there, and then he would tell me that I needed to talk on the mic. I wasn't confident enough. I needed to learn how to, like, scratch and play vinyl. So I showed him that little console that I got, and he's like, no, you got to learn on 12-inch, vinyl, like on Techniques. I would go to his condo in Orlando, downtown Orlando it was in, and for hours in a day, I would take those 2 songs, and he would tell me you have to learn how to cut on the 1, and you have to learn how to cut on the 2, and those are 2 different parts. And so after I mastered it, it just became natural after that.
Right. So you're talking to a moron. What's the cut on the 1 and what's the cut on the 2?
So usually when people say cutting on the 1, like it's like the bass line of the song, or like the beginning part of the bar, right? So like you can hear like a hi-hat play from a drum, and that would be like cutting on the 2 because it's like the second bar going into like a 16-bar intro, or like any part of a song. You got the 1, which is the very beginning of the beat, and then you got the 2, which is usually comes in with like a hi-hat or a snare or a click. So you always got that So you would call like that low end like the 1, and then you would have that 2, which they would call the 2. So you would cut on the 2, cut on the 1.
And then you would mix them together is what you would do?
So like, yeah, you would blend them. So it's the difference between blending and cutting. And I'm not the best scratcher. I never like, will say that like I'm just this master, like, scratcher or the best blender. I think, people should be diverse and kind of learn a little bit of everything. But yeah, you would just like literally, if I'm going to throw in a record after one song's playing, and I know that right when that song is about to come in on a 2, which would be like a hi-hat or a snare, I would cut another snare in. So then boom, it would pop in, and then the other song would start playing. So it would sound seamless.
And that's just a beat that mixes with it, right?
Right. So you got these beats that have like certain numbers. You call them BPMs, beats per minute. And you want to mix somewhere between the same like number. So you're not going to do like a 128 BPM with a 95 BPM. That just wouldn't make sense. Even if you have, we do have in the DJ world it's called a pitch blend, and that you can go, you can go up or down with the BPM, with the pitch. So you can't really go from 128 to 95 and try to match them, because it doesn't make sense, which bothers me because in today's world, they have a sync button in the program that all these DJs use, and it's not that it does make it too easy. Like, it's sad because DJs can tell, like some of my buddies can tell, like, damn, Legato, you sped this up. And I'm like, yeah, I know, that's what you're supposed to do. Or why don't you just use the sync button? Because I don't want to sync it. Like, I want to feel that difference. You know what I mean? And
it's called passion, right?
Yeah.
I would say that's passion.
Right.
Now, what do you think about these machines that I've read about them, I've heard about them, that it's basically like you don't need a DJ anymore. Like, you don't even need Legato.
Right. So what are the ones are you talking about? Some of these like controllers and stuff?
Yeah, what were you saying, Rob?
So basically, like if I owned a bar or a club, I would have this setup that would be like a DJ, and you would go up. I think it's in the early stages of this, and say I wanted to request a song, it would somehow go into a system, and it would start playing songs. It would automatically just mix song into song into song into song without a deep physical person being there.
I know there's this thing like almost like a jukebox, right? Or like there's a thing called touch tones or something like that, where you can go up to the machine and you can pay to request a song, and it'll automatically play it at the bar or the club. 9 times out of 10 they use them at like bars, because clubs, they want a little bit more energy and immediate reaction. But yeah, I think it's called like touch tones or whatever.
But I think there's something like similar to that that's like in the early infancy stages coming out now, that's basically going to act as like a DJ.
Yeah.
So I don't have to pay you to be there.
Right.
No offense, I don't got to pay you to be there, but I have to pay this machine.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, the way they're looking at it, is it'll pay for itself, but you don't have that human interaction or that connection.
You don't have the passion.
Right.
It's the passion, right?
It's stupid. I mean, not stupid, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if you want to talk about the work part of it, right? You're going to eliminate DJing because the machine's doing it for you. But that machine is not going to bring you 200 heads that have a name.
Yeah, you're
You know
right.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
it can work, right? But if you want your bar to make money, it's that machine doesn't have a following.
Right. So in other words, you can have that machine there and it'll play whatever you want, but DJ Legato isn't going to be there.
Right.
And maybe you're coming because you want to see DJ Legato.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah. So when people say stuff like that, I always like kind of bring out both aspects. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you can eliminate the cost of the DJ, but then that machine doesn't have a following. So does your bar really make money?
And if he's a good DJ, you know, like in one picture in 6 hours, you got, you know, 17,000 impressions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
whether they hit the love button or not, that means they looked at it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you're there, you got 17,000 people that just looked at it. They know where you're going to be, where you're at. You can have the fucking machine there all you want, but there's
Right.
not 17,000 people looking at the fucking machine.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
For sure.
Okay, so you got into it, and then what was your first like big show that you did,
Mm.
or show that was like important to you? Not necessarily like the heavy hitter shit.
Right.
Just the first one where maybe you were like a little bit nervous when you got up.
So remember when I was telling you a lot of stuff came to me early,
Yeah.
right? And I would expect that to come now. I was getting booked at some pretty big clubs at first, and I was following a well-known DJ at the time. He's still a well-known DJ, DJ Pro Style. And this is how crazy I was when it was coming to the aspect of being a DJ. I always wanted the business aspect. So I would hang out instead of like hitting up Pro Style, or, you know, I would hit up his manager at the time, which his name was Boricua Jimmy. He still goes by Boricua Jimmy. We keep in contact till this day. And I would just always ask him for pointers. And it was never about really being a DJ, but more of like DJ etiquette and like what I needed to do in order to like make sure the way I was booking myself or the shows I was getting was like proper. So because I would like hit up promoters back in the day, you could email, and it wasn't just like, oh, how many followers you got? You actually hit them up, show them what you've done, and they would actually give you a chance back then, right? Well, now it's just like whoever you know, or these agencies are like kind of like, it's not even promoter to DJ anymore. It's like agencies and who they know. So it's all about politics now. I was getting booked in like Tampa, Orlando. In my early stages, I was getting Canada, Quebec City, Canada.
Canada?
Yeah, I've been in 4 parts of Canada. Probably my favorite.
How'd you like Canada?
Probably my favorite spot to DJ. Quebec
And now,
City.
why would you say that though?
The atmosphere and what they appreciate as far as music is different. So you get so accustomed to playing domestically and like the music, but they appreciate our music more. And I think that's just another thing. That's another aspect of being a DJ, where like DJing in different parts of the world keeps you going. Because you got a lot of these DJs that are happy with being local, and I didn't come in the game for that. So I was getting booked early, and the worst part was, imagine, I'm getting booked in Canada early when I'm not even, I'm telling you now that I can cut on the 1 and the 2 and I can explain it, but then I was still practicing. Then I sounded like shit. Again, Pro Style was a big DJ at the time. One of the promoters from Palm Beach, that him and I are still cool to this day, Eminem Parties, he gave me my first open for Pro Style in Palm Beach. He already knew that I knew Pro Style and was messing with him, you know, on different events in Orlando, but this is where I'm at. And he was like, you sound like shit. That's basically what he said. He's like, you're going to open for Pro Style during BET Spring Bling, when BET Spring Bling was coming to Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, let me hear one of your mixes first. So I gave him a little mixtape on a CD. You know, that's what we had back then. And he said it. He said, you sound like shit. So going back to Canada, I'm getting booked in Canada thinking that I'm the man. And
But then a heavy hitter comes and says you sound like shit.
Right. And it's like, I haven't even scratched the surface. So going back to your question, when you're like, what's one of the biggest shows, or like, were you ever nervous? I was really nervous in the beginning for every show that I did. It didn't matter if it was a social, fraternity social of, 50 people, or a club in Canada where I was doing 1,000 people. call my mom, call my grandfather, and I would tell them, hey, I'm getting ready to do this gig, like, wish me luck. And they'll be like, all right, you're going to do fine. And it was like that for like the first like 2 years.
But I think that's why you're successful, because you always you had that guy to tell you sound like shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's missing today is that everybody's afraid to fucking say anything.
Right.
Everybody gets a trophy for whatever the fuck they do, and it's just such bullshit.
Yeah.
But then you meet a guy like that, and he says, "Look, now maybe you got booked in Canada,
Yeah.
maybe you got all these bookings, but a heavy hitter just said, look, you sound like shit,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then you went to your family and you said, hey, look, and that's like the whole thing with passion. And that's why you're at where you're at now, and you're gonna grow. You're gonna be huge.
Appreciate that.
I mean, you're already big, but I mean, you're gonna be big.
Appreciate
time
that.
because you kept your grounds. I mean, I've known you for an hour now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you kept your grounds. You have a passion, and you worked hard, and you figured out the cut. I mean, how many hours do you think you spent figuring that out?
It was a lot. And at that time, I couldn't rely on DJing solely for income because I was just this young kid in college. So I was still working at a retail store in the mall, still had homework to do, still had baseball practice to go to. So in between then, I would find a way to like make it downtown to that guy's house and practice on vinyl. And I think that was another big help too. Was a lot of DJs that are up and coming right now, they just have these controllers where everything kind of does something for you. And there's really no learning anymore. It's kind of just like, I want to be a DJ today. Oh, so most DJs have a MacBook. Let me buy a MacBook. Most DJs have, a controller. Let me buy a Pioneer controller. And they just hit that sync button. And yeah, sometimes when you pitch blend, when you change the pitch and it's a little bit too fast, they like to use the terminology that the song sounds like a chipmunk. And
when they say, well, what's a chipmunk? What's that mean?
It's just like, it goes from like Drake sounding like Drake to Drake sounding like really like high pitch,
they
like
speed
really
it up.
speed it up. Yeah. Like,
okay, yeah.
And some DJs are like, they can tell, and I get it because I can tell when DJs do it too. But I rather have that fault in the blend than using a sync button to get out of it. Like, okay, and at that point, it doesn't even really sound that bad. You just catch it because you're a DJ. Like, the average ear doesn't catch it.
Yeah, that's what we talk about because, like, maybe a curtain's wrong.
Yeah.
And, like you might not catch it when you're, like, looking at it, but me and him and, we're like, okay, that was crooked. And it will drive me nuts for the whole – I can't even watch it because, like, but because you're passionate about it. You know what I mean? And what you found is that how you're going to separate yourself from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I think that no matter what happens with this COVID bullshit, I think that because you're different, and in any business, it doesn't matter if you're a DJ or whatever you are, you have to figure out a way that you're different.
Yeah.
I copied off Joe Rogan, but actually I copied off him 100%. But I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I'm not Joe Rogan. I mean, I'm not 250 pounds in UFC fighter, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, but that was my inspiration. And then this other guy, Matt Cox, who.
Right. But people, and that's the problem again with today is like I can't
agree with you more.
You say that you inspired by Joe Rogan. So then people feel like, okay, let me buy all this equipment, start a podcast. I'm going to blow up in a year. No, these guys have created a name for years. A reputation for years. It's not like Joe Rogan was just this podcast host and now, everybody follows him for the podcast. I mean, he was followed 10
years.
Yeah. For not being a podcast host.
But
for other stuff.
He did Fear Factor. And then he did the UFC.
Right.
Comedian, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, if you go, because I went back and looked, before I started building everything.
Yeah.
And his first probably 500 podcasts were terrible. I mean, really horrible. But then he grew up. But he's been doing it for 10 years. I've only been doing it a couple months. How long have you been DJing for?
10 years.
10 years. Okay. How long has Cal been doing it for?
Probably double.
Right. And like these heavy hitters. What's the other guy? I actually met him. He worked because I really like Chris Brown.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name? He would always say, Londo on the track.
Oh, London on the track.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a producer. Yeah.
Yeah. He was working with Chris Brown for a while. I met him. I met Chris Brown. He was cool, crazy but cool.
Yeah.
But I really respect him because of his work ethic.
Yeah.
You know. And but these guys have been doing this for a long time.
Mhm.
They and that's the problem today. I think personally, is that it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just gonna wake up and be DJ Legato.
Right.
You got 10 years into this, and now you're at where you're at. Now you got a Coke bottle with your name on it, right?
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
dope. That
you
was
know.
dope. That made me feel good.
Is that a French bulldog?
Yeah, it's a Frenchie. Her name's Kalani, and yeah, I used her in a photo shoot. She was like the perfect accessory, and then that's it. We put her on a few flyers. She actually has her own Instagram. She has like 6K. You know, we're working on it. She has a little name for herself.
I have a French bulldog named Guido.
Oh,
Yeah.
how about that? The name for the big Italian guy, huh?
No. I was going through a time I was alone.
Yeah.
And I got a French bulldog. I got a show dog. His ears are up straight.
Hmm.
Show dog, like ridiculous. I'd like to get a refund. No.
They're expensive.
He's a
They're
great
expensive.
dog. And then what I did was, then I didn't want him to be alone because I was working all the time. So I got it's called a Royale Docelle French Micro Mini French Bulldog.
Mhm.
And her name's Camilla.
Mm.
And when I got her, she was this big. She was literally this big. And her teeth weren't coming in, so she couldn't eat. I had to feed her Irish butter. Now she's a fat little mini. But it's a mini French bulldog. It's a toy French bulldog.
Wow. Yeah, she's pretty small. Kalani's pretty small.
Yeah, she's small. When I saw it, but that's a good dog though. I got 2 of them, so I can tell it's a good dog.
She's a handful and she's spoiled. My mom spoils her like crazy. Like, long story short, let's just say she goes to the doggy daycare every week and she gets a massage every Friday.
But
It's insane.
You know what I realized about like the first one, like Guido?
Mhm.
They are the toughest thing I've ever seen. I mean, they like nothing hurts them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just nuts. They're fast as hell.
They can't swim.
They can't swim. But have you ever ran with?
Oh yeah, no, they're quick.
They're fast as a
they're quick.
motherfucker.
Mhm.
And then I thought, there's no way that this little one that I fed butter for to keep her alive for 6 months can run. This little bitch, I take her for a walk. She's like on fire. I mean, they're just genetically insane.
Yeah, they're good.
And you could throw them against a wall and it doesn't even phase them.
Yeah. And a good breed. Good,
I-
very popular breed.
Bro,
They weren't
I would-
popular at first.
you got to come to my house and you got to watch this. I'll throw a bone and both of them will dart 100 miles an hour, hit the fucking door.
Hmm.
I mean, as fast as they can. Anybody, if I run that fast and hit the door, I got a concussion.
Hmm.
Doesn't even phase them.
Yep.
They're strong as hell.
Yeah, they are.
They shed though like a motherfucker.
Yeah, they do.
Did you have any skin problems with him?
No. Mm-mm.
No?
When she was a baby, but like it was kind of we kind of guessed that it was coming, cause like I think my mom had like some type of like perfume or something on her clothes a certain day, and she was like a newborn, very delicate skin, and like she would always just let her lay on her, you know, just to hold her or whatever, and she did have a little rash, but nothing crazy, nothing crazy.
See, both mine don't have any problems, but they itch. They're on that bullshit. I forget what it's called. Some type of medicine. They gotta take it every month.
Itching, huh?
Yeah, they itch. Yeah.
And-
How old's your dog now?
She'll be 2 in January.
Yeah, I think Guido got it when he was about 3. I mean, maybe you won't have that problem. But I
Yeah.
went back to the lady and I said, "Huh?
What's
Why?
up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's up?
what's
you,
up?
you know, you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
Between me and you. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to you. not you know. Okay, so now I wanted to ask you. So when you're DJing, right? And we have these problems all the fucking time. When you have when something breaks, equipment failure, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you dodge that so that you can get around it?
Back in the day, when the program, it's called Serato. I keep on saying the program that DJs uses. Serato, if it would crash, right? So you would have CDJs, what they call CDJs. They're kind of like the electronic version of what a vinyl would be. So you could still kind of move the platter on a CDJ. It's just all kind of like digital almost. When that would crash, you would just pop in a CD. And these CDJs were built primarily just to just pop in a CD and you would have a song playing. Now you got so much different ways to go about it. Like some of these controllers, you don't even need the CDJ. You can pop in a USB, and then the USB would play from the CDJ. That would go to the mixer, and then if your program crashed or you needed to restart, you'd be able to play music.
So if you know what you're doing, nobody's gonna know.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
Really?
Unless you had it crash like literally mid song.
Have you-
Boom,
have
it
you-
crashes.
Have you ever had that happen?
No.
Really?
Not that I can remember, but I have had moments where my program wasn't working. So in order to make it work, I had to use the USB. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's times where sometimes the program will work on one side, so you can only use one side to play music, and I would have to use my mic skills, and literally I would say something like a song will be playing, like boom, 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 and I'll make an announcement, happy birthday to so-and-so. And at the same time that I'm making that announcement, I've already like stopped the song, put in another song, and played the next song. So by the time they're like, or if I'm like, all my single ladies hands up, another song's already loaded, boom, and I don't blend
Legato,
it.
that's a killer fucking move. I like that. I like the legato because of where you got it from.
Yeah.
That's a killer fucking move. So you would pause it, then talk on the mic while you're fixing the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
If I couldn't fix
beast
it,
move there, boy.
yeah, if I couldn't fix it, I would have to. There's been times where I've had to run an entire night off pausing one CDJ, loading up a song, saying something on the mic, going into the next song.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
I never even thought about that. Right.
Yeah. I've
So
had
you
to
just
do it
pause
for
it, you make it look like you're trying to promote something or say something, but meanwhile in the background you're fixing shit.
Right, for sure. Yeah, that's
Wow,
exactly how
that's
it goes.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Back
man.
back then. Now again, with technology advancing, there's other ways to do it. Now you don't even need the CDJs. You can just use the program by itself, and it'll give you internal mode, and you could just like play anything without any type of control from a CDJ or a vinyl standpoint. So that fixed that problem.
Do you use a Mac?
I do.
I
started on a
I don't
PC.
know one DJ that doesn't use a Mac.
Yeah, I started on a PC, and it wasn't even mine. It was my girlfriend at the
Fuck
time.
that thing. I can't do it.
Yeah. It's just once you do anything Apple and you get like anything that goes with that Apple, you got the AirDrop. It's just so smooth. There's no ways around it. And then I have friends that are like diehard like Android fans,
Yeah.
and they're like, "But wait, you can do this with Windows too. It's just like this," and it seems too long. So yeah, Apple.
Too many problems.
Yeah,
Too many
no.
problems.
Yeah.
I had the BlackBerry. It took me forever. Remember the No. Remember the Nextel?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have the Nextel?
Yeah.
The walkie-talkie.
I didn't have it. My grandfather had it, but that was very, very popular back
The
then.
only thing that could get me off the Nextel was the BlackBerry.
Yep.
Then I went and bought an iPhone, and I hated it. I threw it out the window.
I
I was
was
actually driving a car and threw it out the window.
your BlackBerry.
No, the iPhone.
Oh, you threw the iPhone out.
I threw it out the window. Yeah, because I was so used to like the where I could feel the keys,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was like, you need an iPhone, you need Apple, you need this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I was playing with it, and I just wasn't used to it. You know,
Mhm.
like the touch, just like tapping the keys but not feeling them.
Yeah.
And back then I was not who I am now.
Yeah.
And I just threw the fucking thing out the window.
Yeah.
So then I go back and I say, look, after I threw it out the window, we turn around, go back, I buy a Samsung, Android. Well, there's somebody who was on the side of the road got that one too. Then I went back. No, this is true story. I swear to God. Right? I swear on my life. Then I went back and bought the Apple again. I said, I'm going to figure this fucking thing out. And once I figured it out, I mean, there was no going back.
Yeah.
Now, I was still using Windows 7. There's all these updates.
Yeah.
And then I got a Mac. And you couldn't pay me enough. You could give me $1 million right now. Well,
Yeah.
if you give me $1 million, maybe I
Maybe.
will. But
It's a nice chunk of change.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny because the BlackBerry thing, I was on it heavy. I was really stuck on the BlackBerry only because I was so used to the Sidekick. Remember the Sidekick?
Yeah. You slide it out and you'd have the,
Or you would have the one that you kind of push the screen down and then it would flip up and then you'd have the keyboard.
Yeah. You'd have the screen up here and you
Yeah.
could, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
So
know.
At least what was popular when I was young was you had the Motorola Razr and then you had the Sidekick for messaging. Because at that time, remember AOL Instant Messenger was hot. AIM.
That was the biggest thing ever.
AIM. And
Yeah.
oh man,
AOL.
I remember when I used to send girls random screen names in the chat rooms. Like that was a big thing for us back then.
IM mixed with MySpace was the bomb diggity. Remember, Rob?
Yes, the best.
Yes. Yes.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. You didn't even know who you were talking to. But in order to find out, you would always start, I don't know if you guys would, but I would find, like, if it was a cute, like, screen name for a girl, I don't know, let's say, like, cute Latina 561, whatever. And I said Latina like I'm not Spanish, Latina, right?
Yeah. I can even say it better than you just said.
I would always start the conversation with ASL. Remember that? Age, sex, location? Yeah, you didn't start it like that? I would always start it like that. So, like, boom, you'd get age, sex, location. Then they send you their little criteria. Then you would ask for a picture. And that's when, like, you had the big PC. In order to get pictures to someone, you had to get the webcam, the big webcam on top.
Yeah.
Oh, man, those are
See, I would see the name. And if the name sounded hot, I'd be like, hey, how you doing? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up? And then I would wait and then, play my cards and then I get a picture and then I move on. But then I would take that name and I could Google it, right? And then I could find them on MySpace and see who they were.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Okay,
all right.
So you knew how to do your research, huh?
Yeah,
you did. There you go. Yeah. But it's crazy. Again, we're in different times now and it's so easy. Because, like, I can tell you that's how I started to talk to a girl. Age, sex, location. I'd write ASL, right? Now with Instagram. And this is where that conversation starts. It's like, how do you even approach a girl if you like her in the DM now? Because you can't say, like, age, sex, location. That's kind of corny, outdated. But then at the same time, their bio says everything you want to ask in order to, like, introduce yourself. Like their age, location, like
I don't even know what a DM is right now. I know it's on Instagram, but I hate.
But that's cool that you don't know that because
I don't want to know.
Yeah, you don't. It's actually
I use Instagram, Facebook, those things to promote. Other than that, I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, if I wasn't a DJ, I wouldn't be on there like that.
But you're on there actually to promote though. I mean, you're not on there just fucking around.
Yeah, I do. I'm single. I do holla at girls,
I'm sure you do.
But I mean, guys who say they don't and they try to act too cool, trust me, it's probably even worse for them. Like it's bad. But yeah, I do my thing. If I wasn't a DJ, I wouldn't be on it as much.
Yeah.
But I have to keep the name relevant, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
So that's
because one day you're gonna have a family and it's
Yeah, no, that's all that's gonna not be needed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
No more social media.
Yeah. Now, were you ever able as a DJ? Because you blew up quick. I looked at when you started, and then you popped in like 18 months, maybe even less. Just when I really could see when things changed for you.
Yeah.
It looked like about 14 to 18 months.
Yeah.
From that point on, were you ever able, I mean, not by choice. I mean, I know, but if you chose to, how would you maintain a relationship like being you? Because now you got to think, you're going to be with a girl. You're DJ Legato.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have pussy everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you ever had like a real relationship once you got to that point?
In the first, like, if you want to talk about the first 14 to 18 months, I did. And that's when I was in Orlando. I was dating a girl, and I was so, like, my passion to wanting to be a DJ and actually continue with it was so big and so, like, just hardcore that I didn't even want to come back to Palm Beach. I stayed with her because all my people that I was meeting in Orlando that was booking me for these shows, boom, we're all in Orlando. I couldn't go back home, but it was DJ Khaled, no lie, who told me at a gig in Tampa, he was like, you have to go back home. That's where you have the most people that know who you are. That's where you create your name. Now, this girl didn't get that. So it started in Orlando, and I would tell her, I'd be honest.
I'm not trying to cut you off, but did you offer her to come with you?
No.
Did
No.
you love her?
I did. But at that age, I don't think if I knew what love meant.
Yeah, love is a tough thing to
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
I wouldn't completely live in Palm Beach though. Like I wasn't stationed in Palm Beach at the time. I would go to Palm Beach, do my gigs, come back to Orlando, do more gigs, and continue going to school. So I would tell her in the beginning, and she just didn't like it. But I would be like, hey, I'm trying to create a name for myself. I'm gonna have to flirt with these girls. Like, not act on it, but I'm gonna have to flirt. Like, I'm not gonna go beyond that. Like, I can't sit here and just out of nowhere be like, I'm DJ Legato. I don't need to promote. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to invite you to these parties. No, like, I was reaching out to girls like, hey, I'm DJing here. Come see me. I'll hook you up. And that was a big thing, too, is that, like, I kind of was a promoter at the same time for these parties. It wasn't just like some of these DJs nowadays, they're like, I'm not going to promote it. Like, I play music. That's what I do.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll be done real quick.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, as we got into these times that we're in now and more people are becoming DJs, now you have to do a 2-in-1. You know what I mean? You have to be that promoter and promote your shows. That's what they're paying for, especially if you're charging a significantly amount of money. So yeah, I mean, but back then I was doing it back then. And it just came natural because even in high school before I was a DJ, you know, you would have these high school house parties, you know, and I would invite girls to come to the house parties and people would know like, hey, so-and-so is inviting so-and-so. Like, you know, they'll call me Lil Anthony because I'm not the tallest guy in the room, right? So they'll be like, Lil Anthony is coming through with some girls to the house. And then they knew I would invite girls. So it kind of was just natural when I became a DJ. And she didn't, you know, she didn't agree with it right away. And then as time went on and I got a little bit more popular and more of those girls started approaching me without me inviting them, I did act on it and I did some dirt.
Yeah, I think a lot of women don't understand that sometimes like there's a line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can talk to girls and you say whatever you need to say to them, but you're doing that from a business aspect. Like
Yeah.
I'm coming, like Legato's coming home, honey.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're going home.
Right.
I'm yours. But this
That's
is what I'm doing as my business. This is what one day maybe is going to provide for a family.
Yes.
And this is what I have to do. You knew who I was and you decided to be with me. Now you don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, what am I supposed to fucking do? Every girl that comes up to me, get away from me?
Right.
Can't do that in that industry.
Right.
You can't do that really in any industry.
Right.
But women think just because you talk to them and you say a sweet line to them, well, do you mean that sweet line?
Yeah.
Or are you just saying that for, you know, don't answer that because I don't want to hurt your thing. You know, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's a tough thing.
No, it's funny because if you want to get into like just being brutally honest about the industry and how that works, like I'm at that point in my life where I really don't have no problem talking about it. But it's true. It's like it goes from one aspect, one degree of it to another. Yeah, like in the beginning, you like that attention. You like those girls coming up to you and hitting you up, you know. And even if you do have that main one that you're going home to, you know, you still like that attention. But you put a respect on it. You put some type of respect on it. Like when your girl comes out with you at night, I mean, it's not like I wasn't posting her. I mean, social media was around then. People knew who I was with, you know? So it's, then you got girls who just don't care. But that's even in today's world. Like,
yeah, but you wouldn't want that type of girl, you know?
No.
But what they need to understand is that this is the way it is now. And this is what you have to do to be successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I've ran into it way too many times. Is that okay? Wow, you like the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like the you want that Chanel bag that they keep up in prices every fucking year, right? You like that Louis bag.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how the fuck do you think you got that Louis bag? Because I'm working.
Right.
Okay. Well, for me to make that kind of money, I have to do what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all fine and dandy for about, I was saying, tell me if you disagree, 6 to 9 months. Then all of a sudden, you get closer. And now, what are you doing? Where are you at? Well, I'm doing the same thing I was doing when I met you.
Yeah.
And now they got a problem with it, you know?
For sure. And it transitioned into another long relationship that I had. I was with someone for 7 years, and the reason why we split was because she said, I don't want you being a DJ anymore. So it's either like,
what are you supposed to do?
And exactly what you just explained is how I explained it to her. I was like, so you were with me when I was making such and such in the beginning. I'm making this amount now, and you want to tell me I can't do this? Like when we go on trips and we're not worried about it, it's fine and dandy then, but the late night she just didn't agree with, and I couldn't stop doing it. It's like, this is what you met me doing.
But that's what she meant you as, right?
Right.
And now when she wants her nails done and she wants the best nail stylist, the best hairstylist,
Exactly.
the best whatever.
Exactly.
You provide it. Well, how the
Exactly.
fuck do you think Legato provided the motherfucking shit?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
he went and worked his ass off till 2 a.m. He didn't fuck anybody. He came home. Yeah, maybe he flirted with a couple girls,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he made his money. That's
Right.
why they're booking him for the amount now rather than what they did in the beginning. But you don't
True.
have. But when you want your hair done, you don't got no problem with
Right.
that, right?
Right.
When you want that purse, you don't have any fucking problem with that.
Exactly. Yep. Couldn't agree more.
I hate to say it, but I understand.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So now, what happened with iHeartRadio? I saw you were on something with iHeartRadio.
Yeah. So when I
That's
moved
pretty big, bro.
I moved. Yeah.
Congratulations! I want to give you a congratulations. I mean, I know you're big.
Thanks.
You're gonna be huge.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you on that one.
I appreciate
that's a
that.
tough one.
No, I appreciate that. In today's society, it's all about who you know. So even if you send a decent resume, there's a chance you might not get the job, and you could lose it to someone who's less qualified than you are. But I moved to LA January this year, and I didn't even think in my mind that I was moving on an election year.
You went to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You moved there.
Yeah. So I moved to LA in
I
January.
guess you didn't look at the tax bracket.
Well, one of my big reasons.
Or the governor.
No, one of my big reasons for moving was because you hear this, you move to LA and you make it. So I wanted to experience it for myself. And so, long story short, a buddy of mine who's like one of my best friends, he's also a big DJ, Alex Gregory. He told me that I was buying too much shoes at the time. Like every Jordan that would come out on the weekend, boom. So I would buy shoes and not really save. And then he got me into trading and got me into like really saving. So I used some of that money.
I can't see you waiting in line for Jordans.
No. I got somebody who does it for me.
I figured.
Yeah. So I used some of that money as I was saving to go away to LA, right? I go in January. Boom. I'm talking about I was introducing myself to promoters, and I would show them what I've done in Miami, other parts of the world. I was getting booked, no problem. From hip-hop parties to Latin parties to the after hours. I was calling my mom like, Ma, all I need now is like that radio gig. And then boom, there's an opening for iHeart as a board operator. And so in radio, you kind of got to just take what you can get, and then you'll prove yourself. And then as opportunities open up, they usually hire within. I'm used to on-air radio. So in Miami, I DJ live on air, and I talk live on air on a station. But so bad. With iHeart in LA, I was doing conservative talk radio as a board operator. So
What do you mean conservative talk radio?
Yeah. So let's just say I would board op and I would be running shows for Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, and Joe Pags.
Wow.
Right? So I'm in a building where I'm not doing what I really want to do, which is be on air, show my personality, and show my skills playing music. But again, you have to get in where you can get in. So I go to iHeart. Everything's fine. Like everything, like I had it planned out. I get the job. So far from what I'm used to, these topics and what these guys are talking about is like eye-opening, right? So COVID comes and the pandemic starts in March. So as a DJ, 9 times out of 10, you can use the exposure from radio to up your value in the clubs, right? Because you're getting exposed and you're on the air, whatever. But that's not what I could do at that time. The pandemic hits, boom, clubs shut down. Now, you want to talk about tax bracket, I can't live in LA off of an iHeart radio check. as a regular personality. You got bigger personalities like a Ryan Seacrest, you know, or Elvis Duran, where these guys are on big money contracts. But as a regular host, as a regular board op, you're not living in LA off of that type of money. So my boss was like really open-minded to the fact that I was trying really hard, and she was looking for work for me, you know, in different parts of iHeart, and it just didn't happen with all the cuts they were doing with, you know, with the pandemic coming, and just there's really no advertising dollars coming in anymore. Nobody wanted to advertise because there was nothing to, like, no one was really going out to see anything or do anything, and I just had to, like, I had to give them my 2 weeks, like, hey, I'm going back to Florida for a few months, and we're gonna see if things will regulate itself. And this is where we're at now. That's actually a really up-to-date question, because it's what I'm dealing with right now. It's like I sign a lease, I go out on a limb. Thank God I listened to my boy who says, save this money. You know, you're buying too many shoes. And I use it to actually try to further myself. And I mean, man, I had stuff planned out to the point where I was going to do parties across the street from the Staples Center. And the hotel that was going to run the party had a LED billboard downtown Los Angeles, and they were just going to run my name like if it was like
In LA?
yeah, and it was going to run my name and my picture on that LED billboard like if I was like in Vegas.
I had tickets I had season tickets for the home games for the Lakers because I was a big Kobe fan.
Yeah.
Like huge Kobe fan.
Yeah.
But only home games. And I was you know, like right there in LA when you go down, I forget what street it is. I was at that Hilton. It looks like a brick building. It's been there forever. And then
Downtown LA?
Yeah, downtown. And right there is the Palms Steakhouse.
You might be talking about like around the Figueroa area.
Yeah, Figueroa. Yeah,
it's
but
on
it's 2 streets down though.
Okay.
Where the hotel was. I mean, I could walk to the Staples Center if I wanted to.
Okay.
I may be a long walk. But
Yeah.
I would walk out in the morning. These guys were running. At 6 o'clock in
No,
the
I could
morning.
walk to Staples Center and easy Uber to Dodger Stadium.
That would have been big.
Yeah, and that was another reason why I picked downtown LA, because I knew with all the people that would be around those two, you know, stadiums, it was just perfect for me. It was perfect. Because not only did I move not knowing anybody, I moved by myself.
You did that by yourself?
Yeah, so
it's probably not good to take a girl near Rodeo Drive. And what's the one next to it that's even worse?
no, I don't think it gets any worse than Rodeo.
Rodeo's pretty bad, but then the one that's there's like 2 streets down, it's still not one to ever go to.
Yeah, bad.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's bad.
Rodeo, I'm used to. I really didn't go around that area, so I wouldn't.
It's right next to it. It's right next to it. There's a Barney's is right there.
Oh, okay. Well,
like
there you go.
The nice shoes.
There you go.
Yeah, they have like the huge ass building right there.
Look at the store you just mentioned. Okay.
Yeah. Never take a woman that you don't have a lot of money in your pocket to Rodeo or anywhere near Rodeo for that matter.
Yeah, no. And I think I don't even put myself in that atmosphere to even think like that. That's not where my head was at when I moved to LA. It was crazy because I booked a one-way ticket. My sister had a cheerleading competition in New Orleans. It was her first flight, and she wanted me to be with her on her first flight. My sister and I are really close. She's like 11, 12.
That's good, man.
Yeah. Pretty much like my kid. I raised her, helped my mom raise her. You know, dad didn't really do too much, just like my dad. He didn't do much. So I was at that age to really raise her. So anyways.
That's a good thing. I really respect that. Bro.
Yeah.
For real.
No, thank you. So she wanted me to go with her on her first flight. And so I told my mom, I was like, you know, I think I'm just going to book a one-way and go from New Orleans to LA and just say, fuck it. I'm just going to try it. Like, I saved all this money that my boy told me to save. Let me just try it. Because the passion is so strong till this day. It's like, I really want to max out my potential. I want to see where I can go with it, you know? And I get to LA, no apartment idea. I had nothing. Just some of the money that I saved up. I get a hotel for a week. Within that week, I find an apartment. I get booked in some of the clubs, and I land the iHeart job. I'm calling some of my good friends, and I'm like, the timing couldn't be any better. Like, I felt so good moving to LA. Possibilities were just coming my way. Opportunities. And then boom, the pandemic hit, and it was everything. Like everything. And it just was like, I can't live in LA off off of a radio check. Like the clubs have to be open, or I'm gonna really humble myself. I was even looking at like back in the day, I used to work for, LA Fitness gyms or whatever. I was going back into that realm. Like, let me work for the gyms again. I don't care if I have to be the janitor. That's one thing about me. If I know where I'm going to go and I need to just kind of make that money to survive, and then I know my personality and my skills will show forth for the, the value that's going to bring, in the future, I don't have no problem.
And this is what I could tell this in 30 minutes in when we started talking. You don't get content. If you get content, it's done.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, you're not that type of guy. So you'll make it.
Yeah.
No matter what happens,
I
you'll make
appreciate
it.
that, man.
But most people get content. I have this, I have that. Now I'm this. No, you're not, motherfucker. You're nothing. And if you ever get content, then you can't grow.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So then you do all this, you move back to Florida. Now, how hard has this COVID affected what you do?
Everything from, the amount of money you can charge to be a good DJ to just not having enough parties anymore. I mean, I was making.
Also, they screwed you on what they used to pay you. And now
but that's before the pandemic. You got these guys that become DJs, and because they know the promoter or they're good friends with the manager, or they can promise the club that they're going to bring a 20-head guest list and then charge like $150 to play. And then these clubs are okay with paying it because it's like, I can pay this guy $200. He's going to promote, bring people. And then what's even worse is you got this thing in the industry called like prime time, when obviously the club is packed. So you got this prime time moment in the club where pretty much we all, as DJs, if you're playing during prime time, you're playing the prime time records is what we want to call it. And those are just the heavy hitter records that everybody knows that's going to bring the most energy and make the party, the livest. And so now it's like clubs are looking at it like, well, this guy can play the same 20 songs you can play for half the price, and he's going to promote just like you promote. And now there's a value on top of that if you have a name and seniority, but it's like with the pandemic, it's been so hard because everybody's trying to save a penny right now. So it's like, where do I even go from there? But again, there's a reason why certain people hop into your life, and, my buddy Alex, even though I joke around with him a lot on social media, I can tell you he's probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm in the financial standpoint that I'm at in my life now. And it's just, I've been able to survive through this pandemic, not completely, but enough to be like, hey, okay, if I needed to go a route for cash, I have that route, and that's kind of what I'm doing, because I'm also at that point where I'm not going to go to LA, build a name in LA, come back home and say you're going to get the same price you used to get before I was known in LA. Like, my name has more value now. But in a small city like Palm Beach, where nightlife is not really the mecca standpoint of like, where people do, what people do, it's hard because you can't really, do you jug trying to survive and make a check, or do you jug holding value on your name?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. In LA, it's all about like who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But over here, it's like older people with a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
But then somebody comes in that's a little bit different than you. And I think these club guys, and I've had other DJs in too,
mm-hmm.
and I think that what they're doing, I think they're making a big mistake because they don't want to pay the money to have you in, right? Okay, I understand you can't have as many people and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Okay, but at the end of the day, you're hurting yourself. If I own a club,
yeah,
I'm going to have Legato in
mm-hmm.
because, yeah, I can't have everybody in, but I get those people waiting at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can have some schmuck in for a lot cheaper, but there's nobody waiting at the door.
Right.
Well, guess what? People see that.
Right.
Okay? You want that line where you can't get in.
Right.
I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me. I mean, but that's what I would think. So I would say, fuck it. I'd spend the money. Because it's not like these clubs, they're charging, when you go, we both done it a million times. You pay $600 for a bottle of Grey Goose
mm-hmm.
that costs $80 at the most at the
mm-hmm.
liquor store.
Yep.
Okay, well, they have the money to pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this pandemic is not killing them.
Yeah, and it's some of the value that some of us DJs that have been in the game for a long time, the real reason why these DJs need to be putting value on their name is like what we were talking about earlier. It's like, you know what records to play that are going to hit people a little bit harder, that's going to make them spend more money at the bar. Like, who knows? Maybe I play like a really good hip hop song that reminds you of your best friend who passed away. Not saying that that's, the case, but just putting a scenario out there. And it's like, that causes you to like really remember and be happy and buy another drink. Or maybe I play a certain song that like in the lyrics, the lady's just saying something so powerful about just independent women. And that gets the ladies happy and wanting to stay more. DJs don't talk about that. It's just like all they want to do is like hype up the party. And like I was saying earlier, that's why I go outside of my box. Like, before, I used to be that guy, no lie. As I got comfortable and built a name for myself, I wanted to make it known that people were coming. If you're going to come support Legato, you're going to come because of the way that I play. Not because I play the same 20 records that the other guy next week is going to play. I may play them in a different order or maybe bounce around and throw them in here and there, but that you're going to get something different with me, And it's crazy because, like, talking about the promoting thing again, you got DJs now that in order to survive, they're not just playing music anymore. They're actually putting together events entirely. So they're the DJ playing music, they're the promoter, they're like putting together all the marketing and strategy for that, and that's good because if you have the power to do that, great, right? You're making this money and you're putting all this effort in to make more money, but it's not, to me, it's not genuine coming from a DJ. Like, that's not what you got into the business for.
You're smart, dude, because if I'm a DJ, which I'm far from, Paul Walker passed away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it might be off mix, but that's going to touch people.
Right.
And what's that going to do? You're going to go buy a drink,
mm-hmm.
right? Because I'm sure you can relate that to anybody.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a brilliant move, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
you're a beast.
A lot of guys don't think like that, and it's scary. They just want to come in, play the records that they know work, and then boom, that's it.
But you play that little bit of a slower song?
I don't mind it, and people hate me for it. People really hate me for it.
Yeah, but guess what they're doing? The person that's paying you, they're going to that drink and getting a double shot of tequila or Patron that they're charging $20 a shot for.
Yeah, no, I've
mean?
had promoters and DJs come at me like, Legato, you're really playing that right now? And I'm like, yeah, because I know what it's doing. Like, in the middle of a prime time, remember I was telling you prime time. In the middle of a prime time set at the club packed, I'll play like a slow R&B song that I know is going to grab the women's attention. Now, how does that correlate to everything that comes with booking Legato? It's like, okay, he has a lot of girls that follow him. Maybe he needs to cater to them too. Or, let's say I see you in the club drinking at a bar and I see that girl's like rubbing up against you. And I don't know if you're married or have a girlfriend. We just met. But let's say, you're talking to someone and I play her favorite song. And as you're like getting her drink or talking to her, that's the segue to you getting a dance and taking it further, whatever.
You know what's funny? I was just going to say that too. Because, you're playing all this upbeat stuff, blah, blah. Then you play a little bit of a slow song.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing all the upbeat, the girls are dancing and everything else. But if you play something slow, now a guy who's trying to get a girl, now he's got that 3 or 4 minutes to go make his move because it's not so much, she's settled down. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's
and
smart,
real
man.
DJs who know what I'm talking about, we call those off records. So like it's meant to turn the energy off and get people to go back to the bar.
Even if it's Backstreet Boys.
Right.
Fuck
Well,
it.
I don't know if, depending on the party, because I do play Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
At Benny's, I've played Backstreet Boys before. If it's like an old school party and I know the crowd is primarily 25 and older, I'll throw in a Backstreet Boys. But yeah, we call those in the club where the demand is a little bit more, high energy. Real DJs will call that an off record. Like the dance floor is packed, but we know that like we need to make the bar a little bit more money. So then boom, you throw in an off record, and that's 9 times out of 10 where people will like go and buy another drink. And
So it's kind of like off the flow.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's what it's meant to do.
Like one flow and then you slow things down.
Right.
Yeah.
And you kind of got to do it in a way that's still like cool.
Slick.
Yeah.
You got to do a slick style.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd you met DJ Khaled?
Yeah.
But before you go into that, what was the biggest celebrity you ever met? Not the biggest, but okay, the biggest, yeah.
I don't know, man. I've met a lot of people. I've done a private.
Top 3.
Ooh.
Top 5. You
I
met
did
Khaled, right?
Yeah. I met Khaled. Great guy, humble guy. I did a private bowling event for Drake and Kevin Hart.
You met Drake?
I didn't meet him personally, but I was able to like shake his hand, say what up. Kevin Hart I met, and we were able to take a picture. Top 3. Wow, I've met a lot of people.
You ever meet Chris Brown?
No,
I ask every DJ this that comes in. I really like him because I like his lyrics.
Yeah.
You ever hear him rap?
Yeah. I mean, even in his songs today, he'll throw in a verse there rapping instead of singing. He's been in a club that I've been DJing in, but I'd never met Chris Brown.
I don't think there's anybody better, in my opinion. You know, because he puts so much stuff on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you listen to his shit on YouTube, not the album, because, you know, even though he has his masters,
Yeah.
you're still with the RCA and whatever, you know, they want to do what they want to do. But when you hear shit that he put us on fucking YouTube, this guy can rap better than, in my opinion. Actually, I'm going to ask your opinion. I think he's one of the better rappers in the game right now.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever heard like 2 Seconds?
Yeah.
I don't know who could beat him on that one.
Yeah, so his flow definitely he can show you how diverse he is. And like some people will compare him to like the Michael of this era cuz that's just how
dance.
Yeah.
And sing.
The way that he can dance and sing. He's very diverse. And that's one of those things that like if you can't beat him, join him, you know? If Drake could dance like Chris Brown, it'd be a rap. But that's not the case. But Drake, you know, has been rapping and singing too. And that's Drake being one of the biggest artists in the game right now. This is probably one of the, if we talk about funniest stories in my DJ career. But you know that
Breezy has more streams than Drake?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. Over time, I think Chris Brown it has been in the game longer than Drake. Because I remember hearing Chris Brown before I even heard of this guy named Drake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so naturally he would have more streams. Yeah.
No, I love Drake. He's a beast.
You want to hear a funny story on how I got introduced to Drake? Crazy. I wish I would have followed up on the contact. So in Orlando, when I first started DJing, right? One of my close friends, LB, he's Canadian. He does UCF radio with me. And this is how much I wanted to do radio. I was not a UCF student. I was going to a local college in Orlando by UCF. But my girl that I was dating, the one that I was talking to you about when I first started, she was a UCF student. So I used her student ID to get into UCF radio and host my own show once a week. It was crazy.
Beast move.
It was crazy. So my buddy of mine, LB, we still talk to this day, is Canadian, like right out of Canada. Boom. He gets hit up by one of his buddies, and they send him a CD. And they're like, hey, this guy named Drake, play him. We play him on the radio at UCF and never did anything with the contact. Never followed up, never anything. All we knew was that he was trying to do music and he was on Degrassi. And look where he's at now.
Ooh, that's a tough one to swallow.
He literally got a CD from his boy who said, yo, I'm connected with this guy named Drake who's trying to do music. We play it on UCF radio. Don't do anything else with it. We're just looking at it like, just someone else trying to do music. That's why I would tell any DJ to stay humble, and like any local artist that tries to feed you their music in today's world, yeah, there's a business aspect behind it, but always like just save the music and save the contact.
Almost like keep an open mind, right?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you got a lot of people that they suck. They suck. You got singers that don't know how to sing, and you got rappers that like buy equipment and they think they can rap in 2 nights of being, you know, drunk and high in the studio and acting like, you know, there's some celeb. But yeah, even then, it's the way the world is going now, you want to keep.
Well, Baby didn't even fuck him. He didn't fuck him. He didn't fuck Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he fucked Lil Wayne. Real bad.
Yeah.
Held that album for what, 3 years?
Yeah, that was bad. Lil Wayne took a hit on that. Well, the whole situation.
He's never been the same after jail, though. He doesn't sound the same to me.
Yeah.
Just as like you're a DJ, you know more than me. Do you think he sounds the same now as he did before he went to jail? He just seems not to have that. he still has like he's still him, but he doesn't have that. I don't want to say flow.
Like
You would
that
be able
umph,
to
that
describe.
fire.
I think his voice got like lighter.
Yeah.
Or they're not bringing down the gain. There's something that's off.
Yeah, you think so?
That's my opinion. I'm asking you.
Well, Lil Wayne is a great artist.
No, he's a killer.
I don't know, cause I see him being really consistent. So from a DJ standpoint, where I just need his records to hit in the club, and him to just do his thing. For you, it may be something a little bit more personal, like you really feel like he was better in the beginning of his career. Maybe he was talking about different stuff, that was hitting you more than what he's talking about now.
Well, I always thought that because my favorite rapper of all time is Tupac, because his lyrics meant something. He was powerful, whatever. Yeah. So Lil Wayne, I like him.
Yeah.
But his lyrics are just to me.
They just got soft.
No, I just think always his lyrics were just not meaningful.
Okay.
So that's why I like Chris Brown and Tupac.
Yeah.
Because even in anything I've ever heard with Chris Brown, and probably probably 95% of my playlist is Chris Brown.
Even in the gym?
In the gym. Yeah. I listen to the song Stolen. Because it pumps me up because I like the lyrics. So I like when a singer, a rapper, when they have, and Drake. I do like Drake a lot too. And Pac, forget about that.
Oh yeah. Between like Pac and Biggie, they were saying stuff back then that people are saying now. And that's scary to even think if they were still alive.
Yeah, well, who's behind both of them?
Who's that?
P. Diddy. I got Greg Caden coming in the 17th. And he was the investigator. Yeah, he's flying in. He was the investigator in both those cases.
Whoa. That's going to be crazy.
$1 million went to Keefe. Remember Keefe? He was part of the Outlaws.
Yeah, I was going to say the Outlaws.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, he's the only one that's alive right now. What's that? No, Suge got nothing. Well, Suge Knight. No, everybody thought that Suge Knight killed Tupac.
He had
nothing to do with it. I thought he did too.
Yeah.
And this was my favorite guy. And
this is dope setup, by the way. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. No. You want to hear what really happened? Because you're going to watch it.
Oh, no, that's going to be a crazy episode for you.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what happened. But you can hear it from me.
Yeah.
But, when you hear it from the fucking investigators, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what happened was there was 8 people in the car in that Cadillac that whacked Tupac at the Tyson fight. Remember at the MGM?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, prior to that, it was a setup. So somebody goes somewhere and they steal a Death Row necklace. Okay. So now Suge says, hey, look, Orlando Anderson, who was a Crip, he stole that necklace, or his people did. So Tupac was nut. So he goes after him, beats his ass, this, that, the other, right? Meanwhile, before all that happened, there was already $1 million wired to Orlando Anderson to take care of Tupac.
Wow.
So in that car was 6 people, white Cadillac. They all fired, or 6 or 8 people. I mean, you'll hear it.
Yeah,
I think it was 6. I mean, I can't imagine getting 8, but fuck you. You want to kill somebody, maybe you have 8 people in the motherfucker. Sure. You know what I mean? I think it was 6. And, they pulled out the guns, boom, 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 boom. Suge got grazed. And everybody thought that, well, how the fuck did he only get, well, he wasn't the target. So Tupac dies. Well, now, all of a sudden, everybody dies but one guy, Keefe, because he got out of the country. Now, and I'll get to my point.
Yeah.
So then now Tupac dies, 7-day theory, which he actually did, which was kind of weird, but, and in the beginning of Machiavelli, remember it says Suge shot me?
Yeah.
That was just a marketing tool. But I actually thought he did.
Well, that was big. A lot of people thought he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Biggie goes to California, which if your guy at this time says, like, because Puff Daddy, that was his name, I think, at the fucking time.
He's had so many, right?
He says, it's okay to go, but this is your main man. You're going to let your main guy go to California right now? I mean, there's an East Coast, West Coast war like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Big
war back then. Big rival.
So he goes, so long story short. So they're in the club. They're both supposed to be in a green, like 4x4, like a Ford, whatever. Biggie comes out. P. Diddy hears that there's a hit on him. So he's about to get in the fucking car, and Biggie's trying to chase after this broad he's trying to chase after this girl. Not Biggie, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever his name is, he goes back in to the club and acts like he forgot something. So now he's 3 cars behind. Now Suge calls the shot to whack P. Diddy, not Biggie, P. Diddy. So now P. Diddy's 3 cars behind, but they think that he's going to be in that green car that Biggie got shot up in.
Yeah.
Well, now you send 3 or 4 guys. What are you going to do? Not pull the trigger?
Right.
I mean, you're already out on a hit.
Mm-hmm.
They pull the trigger. There's no P. Diddy. They just they shot whoever was there, and that was it. But the hit was not on Biggie. The hit was, and that's from Greg Caden, the investigator, and then the California federal, feds, state, everybody. They just said, "Oh, it's a cold case. We don't have enough proof." But he had everything. And Keefe, going back to where this proof comes from, Keefe came back. Keefe then got indicted on $7 million in extortion, non-paid tax. He signs a proffer. What a proffer is if I walk in and there's 20 guys around, right, federal agents, if I tell you everything I know, you can't prosecute me on that, and you can't make me testify. But I'm going to give you all my evidence that I have to get out of the 25 years that I'm looking at. So he walks into the court, he walks into like a thing like this, and everybody's staring you down like crazy. And he says, okay, here's the wire. Here's a stack of paperwork with the $1 million that was transferred. This is what happened. But everybody's dead. They killed everybody in that fucking car but Keefe. He got 10 years.
Yeah.
But it went from 25 to 10. And he provided the documents that showed that $1 million was wired to whack Tupac because P. Diddy was so scared that something was going to happen to him.
Wow.
And he told everything. So then Greg Caden, who was the investigator, tried to reopen the case, and California wouldn't let him open the case.
That's crazy.
And now as a DJ, think about this. Who was P. Diddy before Tupac and Biggie?
Yeah.
Boom. They're whacked. He makes a song with Faith Evans.
Yeah.
Now he's got Revolt. He's got all kinds
big.
of Ciroc. Piece of shit motherfucker. Fucking hate him.
I can't believe that. Wow.
No.
I believe it. I'm just saying, wow.
100% true.
That's going to be
not even like a maybe. Guy's got like fucking. I have the documents in the fucking email.
That's going to be.
God, I remember playing that song. Every step. Everybody played that song.
Everybody
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great song. I mean, I'm not taking away from the song or his lyric ability that he suddenly got.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you the way the shit went down, and it's fucked up.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's going to be a crazy episode
Yeah.
when you sit down with that guy.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy.
Yeah, because he wants to tell the story. You know?
Yeah.
And he's told it a million times. I'll send you some YouTube things that he's already said. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it's not ifs, ands, or buts, but there's nobody to testify against this fucking asshole. Fucking shame. The 2 biggest guys.
Yep.
And they were friends to begin with.
Yep. Everybody knew that. Yep.
Can you imagine if they were still around? These guys couldn't touch them in a fucking million years.
I know. That's why I told you. The stuff they were saying back then, people are saying now.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
So you get into that, and then pull up his one of his websites. Because I wanted to ask you about that. When you were on the magazine, that was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Here he goes. Look at this guy.
This is. Remember I told you, like, stuff was just coming so quick? It was stuff like this.
What year was this?
2010, April 2010.
You didn't age.
Ah,
I'll give you that one.
yeah. We still look the same, huh?
Yeah.
2010, yeah. 10 years ago.
They got DJ Khaled, DJ Laz.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kid Capri,
Kid Capri.
Grandmaster Flash,
Wow.
Entice. Yeah.
You know who those guys are? Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know Grandmaster Flash?
Well, I don't know Grandmaster Flash, but I believe that was a question they asked me. And I just told them, like just a few names that influence me.
Go to his Instagram.
Uh-oh.
Here, that's good.
Uh-oh. The last one is a little...
This
It-
one.
Okay.
Look
Look at this guy.
is that on camera right now?
That is on
Yeah, it
camera
is.
right
You're pretty jacked.
Yeah. Thanks to the powerlifting program my buddy put
Look.
me on.
Look, you got 700 likes in 7 hours, man. You should be. I don't care.
1700.
1,700.
1700. I'm sorry. You should be fucking proud of yourself. I don't give a fuck what this is. 1,700 likes in fucking 7 hours. Shit.
Yeah, and I showed you my phone. That's not even what you need to worry about anymore. Like when it comes to the Instagram and the likes, what did the impressions say? Because the impressions actually mean the amount of people.
Yeah,
It was like
I saw them. It was 17,000
Yeah,
people looked
mhm.
at it.
And
That's
then
just how many people hit the love button.
yeah, exactly. The
Mm.
17 likes, but actually looking at it was like 17,000, and then
So if you're a guy and you hit that love button, there's a little, you might have,
yeah,
I
but
don't know about that. But they looked at it though.
right, they did.
Go back, Rob. Because he's got some cool shit in here.
Yeah, that's actually an interview for Pride, South Florida. And just a quick FYI, my first week
4,000?
yeah, my
Click on that, Rob.
my first weekly gig ever.
So what happened here? Oh shit! Explain to me what happened. Wow.
So it was just after I was done DJing a little festival for Pride, and they wanted to interview me, but my mom was doing the recording, and I had to keep on telling her to come all the way around so she can get a good shot. But yeah, my first weekly gig was a gay night. I'm not lying. Shout out, her name was Cookie. She used to throw a very popular gay night here in West Palm every Wednesday, and the music was so good that straight people started going to the party. That's how crazy it was, and that's how I started my name in Palm Beach. And when Khaled told me to go back because that's where I had the most following, my first weekly gig was a gay and lesbian night, and then straight people started coming because the music was so good.
But as you know,
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you, girls love to go to gay clubs.
And that's why a couple of my straight, like, my straight guy friends, because I know a couple, gay guys that I'm cool with, whatever. But even my boys who are straight, they knew that. They were like, damn, these gay guys hang out with so many bad women. We got to go. And then when I tell you those were some good days,
Yeah.
the ladies that will pull up to the club just to hang out with their gay guy friends, insane.
I never understood it at first. I never understood it. And then I asked somebody, and I said, why are you always going to gay clubs? And she was like, well, because I don't have to worry about anybody hitting on me.
Yep.
And now I was in a relationship at the time, but I put that in my back pocket, and I said, fuck it, I'll go in that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gay, I don't care.
Right, yeah.
I could care less.
Yeah.
As long as you're not like too.
Right. And
Like
I even say
wacko.
this to some of my buddies. We talk about it, and it's like, just imagine. So, like, your favorite rapper right now. Who's your favorite rapper today, right now, at the moment?
Still two. Well, Tupac and then probably Drake.
Okay.
I still consider him a rapper, even
Okay.
though he's singing, but I still have to say Chris Brown because
Okay.
I think if he would choose to go the rapping route,
Yeah.
I think he would be the best that there is.
So, do you think, I would argue the fact that, do you think everybody that buys Chris Brown's album is straight? No.
No.
There's gay people that, like, buy and listen and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's how I felt when I started that gig. It was like, I don't care about the atmosphere. It's about the music. And it showed in the party because straight people started coming. That's how good the music was on a Wednesday night.
You know what? People that are gay, lesbian, or gay as a man,
Yeah.
they're way nicer than citizens
Mm-hmm.
or like the normal guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
They're
Their
nice,
personalities-
they respect you, they thank you. They say thank you, you're welcome, excuse me. I mean, really, they do. I mean,
They do.
I mean, you've been into more than me, but
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, we used to go there. There was a place in Philly. It was called the Cave,
Mhm.
and it was It was only women, and it would be gay strippers there,
Yeah.
and, or not gay strippers. There would be male strippers, but women would go there to look at
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then the after hours club was all gay. It was called Planet One.
Mhm.
But now, if you danced on that box, and I hate to admit this, but I did when I was 17. Shut up, Rob. I did. But you know how much money I fucking made?
Whoa, I can imagine.
Throwing the bills at you?
I can imagine.
No, I was on top of a box. And
I can
I would
imagine.
dance to techno, and then we went to this place called a Deco,
Yeah.
which was right next to a big time strip club, Delilah's.
Delilah's.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I mean, at 16, 17, 18, made a fucking shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a little odd for me at first, but the fucking money, fuck it.
Yeah, no. Money's green.
Money's green.
The money's still green. Straight,
money's
gay,
green and
lesbian.
Yeah, if it ain't money, it's a fucking bean, and that is not
That's
what you
it.
want. You know what I mean? Yeah, play
Unless-
the cards like you get a plan.
Yeah, unless it's a bean on Bigo, the app. Then
Yeah.
a bean means
Oh
something.
yeah,
then.
yeah. We were talking about that before we came on camera.
Yeah.
But I want to go to his Facebook. Your Facebook's pretty good too.
Yeah. So
you know what I like though?
Yeah.
I like that you had that picture of your dog. That
Oh,
shows you
yeah.
got a heart though.
yeah, yeah.
I said that to Sean. I said, "Are you sure he doesn't have any Italian in him?"
Yeah. So it's funny because
Puerto Rican, fucking say. Okay.
it's funny because actually, if you go into the address bar, right, and
Yeah.
you look at if can you go to the address bar
Yeah.
there?
There?
Yeah, right. So you see how it says facebook.com/DJ Legato. Now, if you just go facebook.com/ watch this, check this out. Go back.
Facebook.com/
DJ, but not spelled out right. Just the letter D, the letter J,
Mhm.
Legato, my name, right?
Yep.
You type that in, enter. That's a whole nother page. So if you scroll down, my last post,
This one here.
yeah, for New Year's, did really good numbers and engagement. And it's funny. I talk about one of the guys who put me in the spot that I am in my life, and look who's on that billboard with me.
Now, when you see yourself on there,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Oh man, we can go into a whole nother realm of what that billboard means to me as far as being a DJ. But when I first started, even in that gay party, I'm gonna try to make this as quick as short as
Nah,
possible.
take
Oh,
your
okay.
time. We're just hanging out. Man.
Okay.
So whenever I'm gonna make sure you come back again.
Oh, okay.
but
Cool.
we're just hanging out. Fuck the cameras. Fuck the lights. We're
Yeah,
just
yeah,
hanging out. You know.
I got you. So when I first started at that gay party, right, I was known as playing too much hip hop, and for certain promoters that were doing other parties, that was too urban for them. So I'm not gonna lie, and I don't have no reason to I'm not downing anybody. That was at a time where partying was it wasn't as diverse as it is today. But I wasn't getting into all the clubs because I was playing too much hip hop. A lot of people thought I was just like this urban ghetto DJ. That's what they would call it, ghetto, because I played too much hip hop. And there was venues that wouldn't book me, including that billboard. There's been times I've seen a lot of my DJ friends that would get booked at Monroe's, and because of my reputation from back in the day, I couldn't play there.
Spillotti.
What's that?
The guy that owned
Oh.
Spillotti.
Oh no, I wasn't going through the owner. I was just
okay.
seeing my boys DJ there, and I was wondering why. And I can't get mad at anybody who works at Monroe's and is like, "Oh, we heard Legato plays too much music or hip hop music," but it took me 10 years, a lot of accomplishments, and a variety of events to prove that I can go the route that they want inside of that building, which is, it makes me feel good, but also it's I really had to wait that long and go through ups and downs and this and that. But yeah, they didn't even know that I was on a top 40 radio station in a big Miami market for the past 3 years, playing the style that they want in there. So that billboard, what it means to me is, I've created that diverse Legato feel that can kind of prove to everybody I could rock in this venue, I could rock in that venue, And so when I put the caption "Mama, we made it," that's what I meant by that.
In other words, you can like adjust.
Right.
Right. So if it's a gay club, you can play in a gay club.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
If it's a strip club, you can play it. If it's country, you like country?
Yeah, I do. But I will say this:
I had to ask you this.
if I play a country if I got booked at a country club, I probably wouldn't do that well. I'll be honest. I don't follow country music. Do I like it? It brings some amazing women to the concerts and events, but I don't follow it enough to actually know how to rock a crowd. And that's what being a really good DJ is about.
Yes, you do.
I mean, if I had to do my homework.
Listen, if you figured all this out, you can rock a and you know how much money you listen.
Yeah.
Country motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And I like them. I like, believe it or not, as much as I like Tupac, who's a maniac.
Yeah.
I like Chris Brown, who's another maniac. I actually like Post Malone, who's another maniac. I got Lil Wayne right here.
I know, I see that.
I got Rich the Fix.
There
Shout out to Rich the Fix. But if you listen to countries, some of them, if they're not talking about their guitar and their whiskey every fucking song,
right?
They're pretty good, and the girls that brings is insane. And then on top of that, the money they make. Do you know how much money they make?
Yeah, crazy.
Way more than all three of them.
Crazy. And like that's why I said if I had to do my homework and really plan for a country setting, of course I could do it, right? But that's also staying true to myself. Like I'm not gonna charge a certain amount for a genre of music I don't have that expertise in, you know? So you got DJs out there, and this is where the business gets ugly, that they'll download the 20 hottest country songs at the moment and say that they're a country DJ. That's not what it's supposed to be, just so they can get that gig and make that money. Instead, you know, people want to cut off your paycheck for knowing country music just because I download 20 songs that I know is going to hit at prime time. You know, it's not fair. That's where we're at.
But the thing about you is, though, that before you took that gig, you would study it, figure it out, figure out what's best.
Right.
And I think that's going to go a long way.
Yeah, it has. It has.
And there's a ton of money in country, man. I didn't realize.
Don't give me any ideas.
Listen, there's more money in country than any of this other stuff. I didn't believe it, but I ran into somebody. I don't want to say his name, but I ran into somebody, and they said, "Jesus Christ, these guys are fucking." Because it's like once you like get into that, and they like you, you got like you got half the fucking country behind you.
You're in, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Crazy.
Unbelievable. Maybe you should do. I would love to see you do country. That'd be funny to me.
It would definitely.
I would laugh, but I'd be happy for you. You know, and I know you could do it.
It definitely would be a challenge.
And you're smart. You're intelligent.
I appreciate that.
You don't get content, and you know, that's big. You're gonna make it big.
I appreciate that.
You're gonna be huge, and I hope you come back again. And I appreciate it. And if there's anything you want to push it.
Yeah, I got you. Oh no, I just.
How do I get it? So if I want to book you, how do I book you?
Usually I get a lot of my stuff on the IG, through the socials, through the Facebook. But I have a good friend of mine, Wallace Joseph, who also handles a lot of my bookings, and I've been using him for years. Just a good friend who stuck with me through the years. And I mean, that info is in the socials. You can get the number, the email, whatever. But yeah, just at DJ Legato, Legato on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and DJ Legato on OnlyFans, which is crazy.
Yeah. We have to get into that. Okay, so why would a DJ go to OnlyFans? I was gonna kill you on Big O, but I have too much to deal with my friend in Pakistan. I don't even need to know any more about it.
OnlyFans it started as a joke during the pandemic, right? Like, I was in LA and I'm just like, how can I make some extra cash right now? Seriously. And like a buddy of mine, actually Jimmy, Boricua Jimmy, who I still am in contact with, DJ Pro Styles, he's no longer his manager, but he told the guy, Eminem Parties, who gave me my first party, he was like, we all spoke, and he's like, if Legato's in LA, tell him to do a little bit of everything. Shoot, use his look, you know, do this, do that. So I took that into consideration, and I was like, yeah, let me try the OnlyFans. Like, I'm not going full on nude on OnlyFans, but it's definitely enough where, like, people are buying it for
My
sure.
man. Hey, you're single. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Listen, there's a post on there. I'll give you guys a little like teaser. There's a post on there where I have nothing but a bottle of Bullet Bourbon covering
What's your OnlyFans?
my OnlyFans is onlyfans.com/DJ Legato.
Pull that up.
But wait, you can't see it because you would have to pay for it. So you couldn't even. There's like,
Profile?
if you could see the profile, onlyfans.com/DJ Legato. I can't believe we're doing this right now. Okay, let's.
We're having fun. We're just hanging out.
Let's go right now.
Who gives a fuck?
Let's go.
You having a good time?
Yeah. No, this setup is amazing. Congrats on what you're doing here, and your inspiration is only that fire that's going to continue to push what you want to do in this room, and this room's going to take you to just levels of just networking with people and the comfort zone that you're going to get from this, the knowledge, being able to talk with people. This is what people want. This is what we're missing in today's society. People don't know how to talk anymore.
I agree with you. And you know what? I hate people. I hate them all.
Oh, really?
I hate them because
As I'm sitting in front of you.
No,
I hate you too.
No. But you know, I've been in business all my life,
Yeah.
right? And got in a few not so good businesses, but I can read a person in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I really can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't get content. You fight for what you want.
Mhm.
And to me, that's all I care about. I know you're DJ Legato, but
Mhm.
I really don't give a fuck who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I respect, and when you said you called your mom all the time,
Yeah.
see, you know, that means something to me because that means that you have a big heart.
Yeah.
You won't accept losing. And I say this to a lot of people, and I repeat it on these podcasts all the time because I just want to see how they react. There's two things in life. There's a winner and a loser.
Mhm.
And a loser gets content.
Mhm.
Okay, I work a 9 to 5. I'd kill myself before I worked a fucking 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And I've just been sitting with you, and I know you would too. You know?
Yeah.
You're funny.
Yeah.
You're compassionate. Like you're a good dude. And
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And you're gonna figure out. But I want you to do country because I want to go to that one.
I think the next time we
I want to watch a half black guy and a half Puerto Rican do a country DJ.
Listen, the
I
next
will
time
sit
we
there-
jump on here,
Which you're coming back.
we'll definitely, you and I will be at a club where I'm DJing country music. We're going to make that happen. See what happens.
Do it.
Yeah.
Listen, because at the first time, fuck it. Listen,
Yeah.
do it for like free, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
fucking do it. And listen, no, listen, Anthony. I like to call you Anthony.
No,
You know,
go ahead,
It's
go
just,
ahead.
just one of my things.
This is
but-
actually probably the first place. So this is like great content for both of us because no one knew that.
Yeah. Well, now they know.
So yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate
My
that.
of course, my close people know me
Yeah.
and they know, but yeah, my real name's Anthony.
I just feel like it's a respect thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, for sure. For
you
sure.
know, but I appreciate it.
No
though.
problem.
No,
Yeah,
you're a great dude, man.
Thank
You're
you,
a great
man. Thank you. As we jump on my OnlyFans here.
Dude. This kind of
Check out my my bio. I put here I post teasing content that might just keep you wanting more, or you could just ask. So you got a follow for free button there, which
hit follow for free.
there, yeah, right there. So, there. If you follow, you got to make an account. But
Sign in with Google. But take it off YView while you do that.
okay, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the OnlyFans started as a joke, and then I just started getting traction on it. Fans were coming in, they were buying it. There's some stuff like the thing about OnlyFans, which I wanted to see how these girls are making crazy amount of money.
Crazy amount
Like,
of money.
They're living off this. They're living off of it. You can post certain things at any amount that you want. I think the minimum you could put it at is $3. But after that, you can go as high as you want. And I would put stuff. I still do. I put stuff $3. I post some stuff at $5. Some stuff at $20, and they buy it. And those are a lot of those guys, and I say guys because they're gay.
Hey, look,
they're real
props to 'em.
fans.
They're making fun.
Well, I got women on there too, but I mean,
fuck them. Who cares? You're making money, and
We
it's
said-
reoccurring.
we said money's green, right?
It's
So,
reoccurring.
but at the same time, it makes you question, or it makes you appreciate the fact that you can be valuable in something outside of your own niche. So like if I'm a DJ, people usually follow me for playing music. There's people that appreciate my body, appreciate my look. And that can go from a 5'5" kid who's into powerlifting to 200+ pound woman that men are just into big women. Like OnlyFans created a platform, no lie, that you can be yourself, and if there's a niche for it, you can get paid for it. I think it's one of the best ideas to come out recently. And yeah, it's just crazy.
And I agree with you because they don't censor it.
No,
You know,
no.
'Cause-
Even though Twitter is uncensored.
well, I would have to disagree with you on that one.
I know guys that put pornographic videos on Twitter.
Okay, well they censor what they want to.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so
I meant as far as content like this coming from an
content like that.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Trust me, when I did the show with Joe Pags out of LA, he said something that got retweeted
I know that is
and Twitter blocked it. All
Yeah.
because you know who retweeted it.
right. I would take a wild guess, and his first name starts with the D and his last name starts with the T. But I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, though, I'm saying this not you because you have a public job.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do what I think he's gonna do,
Yeah.
this is gonna be all fucked up.
Yeah.
And what I hope he's doing, and what I'm seeing, is the You ever read Mac? I always. You
Bring
ever
it
read,
back, huh?
you ever read Machiavelli?
No.
You never read Machiavelli.
Mm-mm.
You're half African American, and you never read.
No.
You never read Machiavelli?
No. I could jump on here and act like I have.
Jesus Christ! There's another guy I got to send this book to.
Okay, I got to read it.
Okay, so while he's pulling everything up and figuring this out,
Yeah. I think
Okay,
you got it, right?
so what Machiavelli did was, it was written a long time ago. Tupac went by Machiavelli.
Yeah.
Big businessman go. I mean, it's kind of like the rule of law in different atmospheres, you know. I'll explain it to you further later
Yeah.
in a different conversation.
Yeah.
But so you see how Trump's like real quiet right now?
Mm-hmm.
See how he's like, I mean, he's not quiet, but he's as quiet as he possibly probably can be with his
Right.
personality.
Yeah.
Well, in Machiavelli, it's called the Machiavellian Way to Live. And then there's Sun Tzu. There's two, Art of War, which he also wrote. Trump wrote a book called Art of War. And whenever some shit like this, it's like war. Okay, right now he's up against the war.
Yeah.
Okay, because if Biden won, okay, and he won fairly,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't sit here and tell me that this fucking guy got 80 more million votes than Obama,
Yeah. Yeah.
the dirtiest
Obama, yeah.
motherfucker that there was,
Yeah.
next to the Clintons,
Yeah.
which I actually like Bill Clinton, but he's a dirty fuck.
Yeah.
But you mean to tell me he got 80 more million than fucking Barack Obama?
Yeah.
I mean, if you believe that, you got a fucking hole in your head.
Hmm.
Your elevator isn't even moving.
Mm-hmm.
You got more than 2 wires crossed. There's a lot crossed.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Biden won fairly, no problem.
Right.
You win.
Right.
So in the Machiavellian, if you read it, when something like this happened, because it's pretty much a war for him, all of a sudden they go quiet. And they got the hammer in the back pocket. If he can't, let's just say he has a hammer.
Hmm.
I don't know that he does. I mean, I'm not sure. And for you and for me,
Yeah.
I hope that he does.
Right.
Not because I dislike Kamala Harris or them or whatever. If it was the right person, I'd be all
You'd
for
be
it.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But not to shut down everything, $15 an hour bullshit. Well, what the fuck is going to happen? They're all going to get fucking robots.
Yeah.
You know that. I know that.
Yep.
They're not going to hire you. They're not
Right.
going to hire me. We're all fucked.
Yep.
I mean, really. I mean, that's the reality.
Mm-hmm.
So in Machiavelli, he was a nutcase like all these guys that we just talked about. And he was real quiet. And he waited till the last minute so that they couldn't come back and, for example, come with like tanks and start blasting.
Mm.
Okay? He waited till the last minute where you didn't have time to beat him.
Mm.
So we got till January 20th. So
Mhm.
hopefully, don't you say anything because you got gigs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully before January 20th, there is that hammer.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I got you. I'm listening.
Yeah, you just keep listening. You don't say shit. I like you. I think you're a great
Yeah.
guy. But I would never even put you in that position because right now it's like so
Yeah,
fucking
it's bad.
crazy.
Yeah,
Christ,
yeah,
you
it's
say
bad.
one wrong thing,
Oh yeah.
fuck you
Oh,
up.
you want? Trust me. When I took that job at iHeart, the Joe Pags found out that I was a personality, and he would like ask me to go in on some of the topics with him. And this guy's getting syndicated to 300 affiliates, and I'm like, Joe,
See, I won't. Yeah.
I-
See,
I
I
wa-
won't do that.
I want to
because-
help you out, buddy, but
But see, I think something like that's fucked up because you're risking, you're basically risking that person's family right now.
yeah.
So
No, but-
if I ask you about certain things,
Yeah.
right, you may not get a job. You may lose money because you answered a question I asked you. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no, Joe was good with it. He wasn't like he put me in like the direct field of pointing my view out, putting my opinion out there. But, you know, we would talk and we would shoot the shit together, and then there would just be a little things where like I wouldn't mind agreeing with him, and I think that's a part of growing up also. Like, how would I look like accepting a gig from a person that I feel like we don't have the same views, even though I want to make the money, but it's like I'm not going to be a sheep either. You know?
But there's two ways to look at that, right?
Yeah.
Because one day you're going to have a family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And yeah, you may not agree with somebody, but you need to protect and provide.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
So you have to look at it the other way
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want to go against your beliefs, but at the same time, sometimes you kind of got to look the other way because you hate the motherfucker, but look, this is providing for me right now.
Yeah.
I have a family.
Right.
I have a daughter. I have a son, or I'm
Right.
about to, or
Nah,
I
for sure.
want to, and
For
then you
sure.
just kind of got to, in your mind, you fucking hate the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But you just say,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Needs me to put in a payment.
Okay. So, geez, I don't know how we're gonna look at it. So yeah, there's pretty much to just get to the gist of that. What I
Yeah,
do without showing the stuff you have to pay for, I do put a little of the teasers in there. So like, obviously that last post on Instagram, I used to tease the OnlyFans, which means I either have something that's, you know, like if you scroll down, right, go a little bit more, a little bit more, right there, that one in the middle, boom. So like, if I post something like that, I'm pretty sure you can go on OnlyFans and see a little bit more, right? And you
Yeah.
got to pay for it.
Yeah, right.
So you would use that as like a little teaser or whatever.
Good move.
But
And if you look at him sitting across from him, you don't think he's built like that, but man, he's jacked. But
Yeah.
people don't, but like right now you look at me, you probably think of some skinny guy got an 8-pack right now.
oh, there you
I do.
go. There you
I do.
go,
I'll show
buddy.
you a little something.
There you go, buddy.
What do you
That's
think?
it. Hey, that means I know you're curling. So what are you curling? Like the
Nope.
100 bar
Nope.
curl bar?
Nope. I go really light.
Really?
I do 120 reps nonstop,
Ooh.
10-second rest.
Stop.
10-second rest. So like when I curl or I do any type of weight, I go really light. Like today I did shoulders.
Yeah.
Him and I were talking. Shoulder, like you always think shoulders is not going to be that bad.
Yeah.
And so, when you do shoulders, it does not kill you, other than legs. Fucking hate legs. But,
Yeah. Back and shoulders is usually
yeah. You think it's not going to be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'll do 120 like this, raises, side, shrugs, everything. But I do 120 at a clip.
Yeah.
Wait 5 to 10 seconds. I go right back at it.
Wow.
Because I'm not. You have a wider frame than I do.
Yeah.
So for me, if I got bigger,
Yeah.
and I've been bigger.
Yeah,
I was 180 pounds. I'm like 155 right now.
Okay.
But if I take my shirt off, you would never think I'm
Yeah, I wouldn't.
155.
Yeah.
But if I do that, I look like a fat midget.
Yeah.
But you don't though.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fucking big, dude.
I figured
Fuck.
if I got any bigger than where I'm at right now, I'd look shorter than what I am.
Because then what happens? Like you wear like a shirt like that, then you just look all bulky and you look like a fat midget.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean,
It works, man.
and people that are watching this, I'm sitting across from him, and I would not think he looks like that.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean, he's
It
pretty
works,
decent.
man. It works. And shout out to everybody who's on the OnlyFans because they really support, man. And they pay for those posts. And, you know, it's one of those, like I said, you just appreciate yourself a little bit more because you're, you know,
Damn, you are fucking big. How much do you weigh?
I'm right now probably like 175.
Look at this fucking guy.
Little video.
Yeah.
Little clip. Yeah.
What do we got on there? What is that?
I think that's like 6 plates. 3 on one side. Oh yeah, it's 3, 6, and a 25 on each. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
And
much
I went
is that,
heavier.
Rob?
I went heavier.
45 and 45, 225.
Yeah.
Genetics.
75.
315 with the 6
315.
plates, and then
Genetics.
50 pounds at. No, that's not 25. That's 35. So that would be 315 with the 6 plates and a 45-pound bar. If I was on the bench, that's how I'm calculating it.
Yeah.
That's how quick I do it on the bench. Yeah. So it's
Oh,
315 plus.
God, I hate doing legs, man. Legs is the
Yeah.
one workout I hate.
But it's the biggest. It's the biggest muscle group of the body.
Yeah.
You cannot not do legs.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't do legs for a long time. I didn't do legs for a long time. And I don't do sit-ups. I don't do any ab things.
Yeah.
Because you already know I've seen your abs. It's pull-ups.
Yeah.
Pull-ups gives you abs. And then if you look at this motherfucker.
All right.
Jeez.
That's in LA. That's in LA.
I like that one.
And it's crazy because
Dude,
like
you're
you just
fucking jacked, bro.
I appreciate that. You just got to learn how to do everything by yourself. I can't hit up a buddy of mine like, let's say I know you. I can't hit you up and be like, let's go to the gym. Like everything in LA was by myself.
Yeah.
Insane. So
What
yeah,
is that,
man.
40? Is that
25.
45s, Rob?
25. No, 25.
Still, look at that.
Little him or girl with the 25. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try
Jeez.
that one next week at the gym.
It feels good. You'll like it. Trust me.
What do you
like
do
it.
for your shoulders? You got some big ass. You see the shoulders?
Yeah.
Traps come in. I think that's genetics, thanks to But your basic stuff that anybody else would do for shoulders. Nothing too crazy.
He's throwing them around like it's nothing.
I like
I'd be dead in 2 seconds with that.
That's a nice workout.
He's not
Yeah, it feels
tired.
good. Feels good.
You're a
Definitely feels
beast,
good.
bro.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that.
So go to his OnlyFans, and how does somebody get you an OnlyFans? Because any girl that's watching this is gonna want to go.
Yeah, you could just go to onlyfans.com/DJ Legato. The good thing about OnlyFans is that when you make an account, you don't have to put your name. It gives you like a user ID. It's like the letter U with numbers, so you could be anonymous. And then you just enter a payment method that you would use to pay for the content you want to see, and then boom. Like mine, usually girls or just people who have OnlyFans in general, like they have a subscription, so you have to pay in order to just go on their page. Mine, I leave it free, but you pay for the content that I post.
Right. So when you go to OnlyFans, like you buy the subscription,
Yeah.
and then each person that you want to see, you pay a little bit more.
Right.
And then you can do a reoccurring, and then you can see everything that you want.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I'm not that popular on OnlyFans yet, but if I got there, that would be the way to go.
Well,
that reoccurring.
Men and women. Who
Yeah.
cares? I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
come on. Go look at my man, right?
Exactly.
I really like this guy. And,
Exactly.
I really appreciate your time. And if there's anything else you want to talk about, let me know.
No, that's good.
I got a lot to get to when I bring you back in.
Yeah.
But this is fun, though. Did you have fun?
Nah, this is great.
That's all
It
that
was an
matters.
honor. It was a pleasure to have you to
No,
have me on here.
It's an honor, and I want you to do country.
No, that's
Because
I think the next time we jump on here, we need to get like some footage or whatever that we can have that we can actually prove that we put something into existence, and I
from
DJ.
this.
Yeah.
Text me. You
Okay.
got my number. You
Yeah.
know, let me know where you're gonna be. I can fly everywhere now.
Is
Couldn't do
there?
that before.
Oh yeah, I know.
Well, for
Crazy.
a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
But now I can though.
We're gonna
know,
get a country club under my belt. Just for
I'll get front row seats and I'll watch it.
All right.
I gotta see it.
All right. Cool.
You
No,
gonna
I'll
do
it.
country?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to do my homework, and I'll ask a few of my buddies who know country music, just so I can really get a good set down, and then I'll try to make a
Make it
country
fun.
gig. I'll try to get a country
do
gig.
1 or 2 for free.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what to do.
Yeah.
It's just I've been in business all my life.
Yeah.
So have you. Just my opinion. Do 1 or 2 for free.
Yeah.
You watch what happens. Because now you're like, wait, we have this African American Puerto Rican guy doing country and he's killing it.
It's like, look
Mm.
at Hootie the Blowfish, Darius Rucker. He's in country now.
Yeah,
Darius Rucker's
Oh,
making
yeah.
tons
That's
and
true.
tons of money.
you're
That's
right.
true.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
That
Darius
is
Rucker.
true.
What do you think he's fucking worth?
Money.
One thing I wanted to go back to, you know, Sean Hannity. I was looking up how much they make. You know how much he makes a fucking year from Fox? 40 million.
So, just for Rush Limbaugh, for a 30-second commercial on his show, 20 grand.
Wow. Really?
Mm-hmm.
He's a beast, though.
Yeah,
he's on his way out, though. What's he got? Pancreas? What's
yeah,
he got?
he has
Pancreas?
he has some type of cancer. Yeah.
You get pancreas. Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Great actor.
Not much
That-
fun when you get that.
Yep.
Yeah.
20,000.
For 30 seconds.
Like 30, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on that. I know it's 20 grand to get an ad on his show, and it's either for a 60-second spot or a 30-second spot. But if I'm right and it's 20 for 30, imagine how much it is for 60.
He was with NBC, Fox.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit. That's a shit ton.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
So think about it. You got the pandemic hitting, and it's like you don't have these advertising dollars anymore. So they let a lot of people go. A lot of people lose their jobs.
Once this pandemic is over,
Oh.
then I'll ask you what you think about the pandemic. But I don't want to do it to you now because I don't want to
Yeah.
fuck anything up.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure.
I'm your boy, bro.
I got you. No, we definitely got to come back.
All right. Thank you, brother.
My brother,
Thank you for your
man.
time.